Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, the Elite Dangerous Community Show. And I know it's not the first show of the new year, but it certainly feels like it because I've got my squee back. Yes, my voice is back. I do apologise for last week. It was a little bit silly, but I could not let everyone down and not stream, so I had to push through and do it. But yes, the upper airway infection or whatever it was is gone, and I am back to my normal self. So yay! Sorry, you're gonna have to put up with my voice today. I do apologise for that. So without further ado, I should introduce my guest this evening. I have Commander Ratking. How you doing, sir?
Hello.
Thank you very much for coming by on short notice. It's been a bit of a hectic week for me. I think it's been the same for you, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, it has been, but that's with Christmas and everything and all the cooling down and then go inside. Oh, wait, we gotta work.
It all hits the fan at once, and oh yes, too much going on. But thank you very much for joining tonight, and thank you for everyone who is in the chat tonight. Some familiar names and faces as usual, so greetings to you all. So hopefully I'm coming across a lot clearer than I was last week. I think I should be. What's that say? Moose 666 lobs me into the lake that currently occupies Port Elphinstone. Oh dear, the water's up. And Kate is here! Greetings, Kate!
Hey!
Yes, you don't have to put up with my terrible, terrible voice. My voice is much better this week. So, yes, hopefully we can go through it. So we've got lots of little things I want to shout out, some things in the newsletter I want to highlight. Lots of cool things going on. But first of all, I mean, Ratking, you are nearby, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I had to quickly go downstairs and get some newly made spicy chips. So I had to log out. But I am currently very close to you.
At least in the same system. So I'm carrying on from where I left off. Oh, there we go. Accept wing invite. Cool. Make sure I've got my bacon. Bacon is deployed. So I've been carrying on with my expedition from last week when we were streaming. I was on a particular planet which I knew had 3 of the 4 components required for the premium FSD boost injection. I'm now looking for yttrium, and this planet happens to have some. I know because I found about 3 this morning testing it. So yay! And also, whilst we're doing it, we're doing science, because we like science, don't we? You should know this, Ratking. You definitely like science.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm kind of I'm keeping track of a nice little journal. So you know, no elite player is complete without a notepad to sketch things in. But yeah, I've been keeping a little note of things, and I'm testing the hypothesis. Now, I've been reading up on this. Apparently, meteorites are more common on the equator of a planet because naturally it's just the way that the planet is orbiting. It's going into its orbit path. It's kind of always, the equator is always facing what it's going into, so it's picking up that debris and material going around the orbit. It's more likely to have meteors effectively hitting the surface near the equator. So I am pretty much smack dab on the equator. I don't know if everyone can see based on can't quite reach it, the little indicators there. I'm at negative 0.006543210. There we go. I am on the equator of this planet right now. And basically tracking around in it. So I'm heading at the compass at the top, 270 degrees, and I've just been going. I landed at precisely 00, so what would be on Earth would be, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of the Sahara Desert, right down the GMT prime meridian, smack dab on the equator, and I've just been kind of going. What's 270 degrees? That would be west, I think, due west. And unfortunately, I had the clever idea. I thought, well, I'll land on this nice planet in a nice spot right on the equator here, and it was in lovely daylight when I arrived. And of course, planets have got this nasty habit of turning when you stop looking at them. Well, when you are looking at them as well. So now I'm on the dark side of this planet because it's orbited in the meantime.
Oh, no. Oh, that's really bad.
So never mind. It's okay. We will make do. But it certainly is. I need the full beam tonight because it is dark. So greetings to everyone that's joining. Mike Snoz, I see you there in the chat. Greetings. Lots of people joining in. Bubble. Is that DJ Tarjan? Trying to catch up with all the names. Sorry, let me scroll down there a bit quickly. I'm sorry if I missed you. Did I get equators not aligned? Did I say longitude, latitude? I get the two mixed up. I've never mind. Anyway, that angle and that angle. I've travelled about 2.3 degrees around this planet, which I think equates to about 70 kilometers. I did a quick test on this actually, because I was having a look at this. Of course, the circumference of the sphere is going to be 2 pi r, and I know I'm on this planet. I know it's 1.5 thousand. There you go, 1,534 kilometers radius. So that's roughly 7,000. So per degree, I calculated it's about 27 kilometers per degree around this planet. So it might take me a little while. I see a wing signal dropping in there. That looks like that looks like Commander Ratking.
It says I was too fast. We're coming down.
oh! I can see you coming in now, so I'll hang around in the area to give you time to level out your descent there. Cornish Cracker, how is Toxic Fog finding Horizons? He absolutely loves driving the buggy. He just thinks it's the most hilarious thing ever. Doesn't really care much about finding the materials. He enjoys finding the materials, but he just likes smashing into me in his buggy because he thinks it's hilarious to just kind of shoot me and then run off giggling. So he loves it, and I'm just really pleased that we get the chance to play together, because obviously his PC wasn't quite up to the task, and I've kind of mixed and matched parts, and we've got two machines both capable of playing it, which is awesome. DJ Tarjan saying, quick, someone teleport Kerrash Landing to the Seven Sisters. Yes, we will get onto that. I mean, that was one of the things that we were thinking of talking about tonight, wasn't it, Ratking?
Yes.
The little hint from Mr. Brooks earlier in the week. So
yeah. I did manage to catch that from being all busy and everything.
Yeah, it's. I think it was long overdue. I think it needed a little bit of a hint on what to expect, because I mean, when you think about it, you know, the Milky Way is a pretty big area to search for things. So this is the, as I put it in that last tweet, this is the biggest haystack in gaming. So finding that needle is probably the most difficult challenge ever set out for anyone. But yeah, Mr. Brooks did hint that nebulas are good places to find barnacles, particularly ones with seven sisters, which obviously is hinting at the Pleiades Nebula, which is famously known for the 7 stars in it, the 7 brightest stars. Often used as an eye test in prehistoric times. Funny enough, if you can make out the 7, you had pretty good eyesight. There you go. Always learning on Kerrash Landing.
I need to quickly get out of my ship before the modules degrade away from the UA.
Quick!
I'm still carrying.
Quick!
It's amazing that I'm still carrying it.
Yeah, I mean, how long have you had it now? It's got to be a few months.
Well, it's 10 months now.
Oh, nearly a year.
Pretty much 10 months.
My goodness. And it's still pointing to Merope.
Yeah.
Quick catch up on the chat then. Simoof, greetings, Commander. Is that a potato planet? It is a potato planet. It is. Yes, it is pretty potato-like. Mr. Winard, how much shiny can a shiny shine if a shiny thing could shine? This much.
That's very shiny.
Very, very shiny. Snoz is correcting me there. Sorry, longitude is GMT. The arbitrary whereabouts of the equator is a physically fixable location, being the center of the globe's circumference perpendicular to the axis of spin. Thank you, Wikipedia. Yeah, I always get the two confused, but it's basically one direction in the other. So yeah, the first degree is definitely on my UI there. It's definitely the equator. If I keep that at 0, I'm on the equator. That's all I need to know.
Oh, I think I just noticed something.
Oh, what's that? What's that?
You can see some nebulas from here.
Oh, absolutely! Yeah, this is the great thing about being on the dark side of the planet. Actually, is the clarity of the night sky. The exposure adjusts because of the obviously there is no light from the nearby stars, so everything gets faded out. I've got no shields on at the moment, so
yeah. So,
but yeah, so we've got the Barnard's Loop over there in the background, and that's the California Nebula over there. So yeah, you get a really nice view on the dark side of planets. I love it. Oh, sorry, I'm really late on the chat now. Pleiades nearly run out of materials, but yes, I had to dump a load of stuff. I literally had almost one of every material. And I had to check. I know. I think the only thing I've not found yet is like technetium. I've not found any of that, but pretty much found one of everything. So I had to start dumping loads of it and getting rid of it, just keeping the bare essentials for what I'm trying to get for my long jumps.
I'd like to ask you something as well.
Yeah, sure, go ahead, mate.
Have you played Legend of Zelda?
A few of them, yeah. I think the one I played the most of was Wind Waker on the GameCube, I think.
Well, there's a moon crashing into us, it seems like.
Oh, you mean like, yes, the one with the face, isn't it? I forget what that's called.
Yeah,
Majora's Mask?
Without a face here, but
yeah.
It's got a very dark side.
So this is what I liked about this planet, actually, because you've got the two planets which are in a little binary orbit going around, so you get this really nice view. And like I said, when I landed in the day, fantastic view from the surface. You could see the other planet, it was lit up, and now it's a bit dull and you can't really see much, but hey, it still looks pretty cool. So I'm going to carry on heading. So I've been heading roughly on the orientation of 270 degrees on the compass at the top. And there was an interesting thread on the forum earlier on today, which I noticed, where someone was asking about, you know, could we have something like a mini map in some form of GPS or something to help with navigation. I mean, I think the navigation tools are there. I definitely agree it would be nice to have more, definitely some kind of waypoint marker system so you can kind of flag off areas you've been to on a planet, for example, because I mean, there's no way you could remember it unless you have multiple terabytes of hard drive space to take all those screenshots for notes that I know, Mr. Toad, I'm looking at you. But yeah, it would help to have a couple of things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think the tools are there. You've got the compass at the top, which is really handy for keeping track of your direction. Obviously, the longitude and latitude readouts that we were talking about earlier on.
Yeah, on that note as well, the Canon has been looking for a few more useful tools to use with mapping out of the planets and everything, because we've been looking at the web and going like, right, so is it there or not? We can't tell because we think we've been everywhere, or have we?
Yeah.
We don't know, we can't map out every little bit we've explored with shared data.
Yeah, and I'll just bring up the system map really quickly. I mean, when I first brought this map up, I mean, my impression was when you could zoom down on here, that you would be able to do more than, because at the moment what you can do is basically you can pick the individual settlements which are on a planet, but there's nothing which really gives you an indication of mapping out where you've been or anything like that. And it's interesting, actually. I know it says I'm on the equator, but it does look like I'm much lower. But when you actually look at this planet's got a negative 17-degree axial tilt, so I think that's the orientation of the planet is tilted slightly, because it does look like I'm below what would be the equator there. But interesting nonetheless. I wonder how much of that is actually accurate and whether or not Frontier are going to allow us to fill that in. One of the things that was mentioned on that thread, actually, you say that, Ratking, was the idea that as you discover the area, the surface area of the planet, you could kind of fill that in, almost like a mini-map, kind of taking away the fog of war. You know what I mean? That kind of thing?
Oh, yeah, that would be brilliant. That brings me back to the days of Age of Empires, where you have the good old fog of war. That's just,
Yeah, exactly. I think that something like that would be fantastic. That would be a bit of a godsend, really. Particularly, that is the key challenge now with the whole barnacle thing, is mapping out the surface of these planets and trying to find where these things are. Oh.
Yes, I found a little outcropping.
What did I do?
Sneakily have ninja'd it.
I did notice that disappear on there. Oh, unbelievable.
I can't get this last one here. It's in the ground, it's in the ground!
Ah, you stole my stuff.
Well, you can have that.
That's okay. That's okay.
Doesn't want to come with me.
That's okay. Plipe is saying we should either be able to sell the materials or transfer them in cargo to your ship, maybe in units of 100 for 1 ton of cargo. That's the first good idea I've seen on that, actually, to be honest, because I know the team weren't keen on people being able to sell materials, so being able to say, if you get enough of them, you can make a ton. That would be... that's a bit loud. You'd be able to sell that on. That's a pretty good idea. I like that one.
And you've just disappeared.
Yeah, the game has crashed on me for the first time in ages.
Oh, no.
I've never had it do that in ages.
Well, I guess I should mention now, my stream is up, so if people want gameplay, come on over. No one
Let's
will
get back
come
into
over
open play. See if we can get resynced up with you, and I'll send you another wing invite instead.
Okay.
Turn the mic down. Is the mic too loud? Let me just try adjusting that on there. I think I turned the mic up a lot louder last week because of me not being able to speak. So let's see if we can find you. You're not actually on my scanner at the moment. Let's see if we can find you. Yeah, back in.
I can't send you a friend request. I
Okay.
mean, I can't send you a ring request, so that means that it's probably one of those annoying sync issues.
Ow.
I've experienced them a few times on the planet servers, and they are annoying.
Okay. Maybe that's because we got disconnected. So.
Yeah. Did you relog?
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I had to. So. My mic is going up and down. Why would my microphone be going up and down? Okay.
Well, see if you can send a friend request to, a wing request to other people. First, we'll see if I need to relog or not.
So what I'll do is I'll head back to Super Cruise really quickly, and then hopefully I can drop in on your signal if you've got bacon out.
Well, we're not in a wing, so it's pretty hard. Oh, there we go. I can send a wing invite. Just needed a few moments to go. Oh, yeah, he's
You
back.
definitely are there.
Communicate with him. I'm marking your position. You will not lose your progress. You will withstand 100 kilometer march. Did you say? Or
What was that? 2.3 degrees, roughly 30 kilometers a degree. So not quite 100 kilometers. Yeah. Let's jump back in. A couple of questions. From Huggy Monsters. Oh, it's a question for Frontier. Are there any big features, game content coming to Horizons has not been commented on yet? Most likely, but they won't comment on it yet. I'm sorry. I can ask them, but I don't know how much they're going to be giving away. Mike Snoz, how about doing an AMA? I'm sure. The guys love doing things like that, so I'm sure they'd be keen on doing more things. It definitely seems to be like the easiest format for them to be able to answer as many questions as possible. So they're keen on that. How do you get the tags in the names?
Tags in the names?
I'm not sure I follow that one. The comment is no comment. Exactly, that is that is the comment. Huggy Monster, yes, there are things.
Mod the name tag.
I'll tell you what, actually, I think what it is, it's not my mic is too loud. I think what it is the game is louder than I normally have it. I've left my Christmas tree in my asp. Do you know what? I did think of taking it out and I totally forgot to do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Bad luck. That is bad luck. That's what it is. Right, let's see if I can send you a wing invite now.
I've been sort of sending you one consistently. Oh, and now I can't send you one. I think I need to relog or something because it's not showing up on the file screen. So I'll try going back to main menu first, and hope that I don't go through the ground. Although I do have a spare buggy. Buggy!
I do have two buggies actually. I thought
everyone needs to drink.
Yes, everybody drink. Buggy is still the keyword. I don't care if it's been and gone and past, it's still the keyword.
Okay, did you get that?
Oh, MHUs, you mean like people with like like brackets and then like an acronym for their clan or their group name. I think what people have been doing has been putting in requests with Frontier to change their commander name to include their tag. But obviously that is a kind of as in when Frontier have time to do it kind of thing, because it does take a large chunk of support time to be going through all the names of people wanting to change things. UGTV, yeah, all players have commander in the name, yeah, that's absolutely right.
You getting my wing request, or is it still not working?
No, I'm not getting you at the moment. You are in open, yes? Both in open?
Yep.
I did go, yes, I did go into open.
Yeah, it seems like then it's just an issue of where my game's just not recognising something up with yours.
Okay.
So I'll restart.
Voice volume is due to excitement levels, Mike Snarls is saying. I don't understand why I've got no kind of automatic adjustment or anything enabled. It shouldn't be doing that. I am just check through the options now, but I've got nothing enabled which should be doing that kind of auto adjust.
Skype can sometimes do that.
Yeah, but Skype isn't feeding back through the stream though. I mean, I could understand if it was your voice, but mine shouldn't be auto adjusting. I've got none of these options turned on. Hopefully it's not too much of a pain, so I'll have a look at it. But it's strange.
Well, I hope I'm not doing anything.
No, I don't think
so.
No, I think it's just technical hitches. It wouldn't be a live stream without technical hitches.
Or it could be something else.
Do you think it's that cargo you're carrying is interfering with the live streams?
Or it could be that we're close to it, close to the source. The barnacle.
Yeah, game with Ian. Yeah, the Skype is a pain for that, isn't it? I know it's but I wouldn't have thought that shouldn't be adjusting my audio levels. Let's see if I can check it on here.
I've checked my audio levels and I've got the boxes unticked.
Okay. Maybe that might be the thing. Skype's a bit of a pain for that, I understand. Hopefully it wasn't kind of doing that system-wide, which would be a right pain in the backside if it was kind of making a system-wide change. But anyway, I shall digress no further. Right, I think we're back on target. I've got a wing invite from you.
There you are.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, wing beacon on.
There we go. I can see you on the horizon.
Hey! You've gone very far over there.
I just had a quick... Oh, hang on.
I can't see you on the horizon. Wait, maybe if I fuss up... Oh, yes,
oh,
yes.
16 kilometers. Yeah, I'm going to make a little bit of a... I'm going to head over in my ship, I think, rather than drive 16 kilometers in the SRV. I'll assume you were roughly in the location I left.
Yeah, I'm in pretty much the same place. I'm going to have another spicy... and hope that my mouth doesn't burn away.
Oh, now they're saying you're a little on the quiet side, so I'll just bump you up a little bit. DJ Targent threatening, if you hold down Kerrash Landing and tickle him, we might find some barnacles. I'm happy to say I know nothing more about the barnacles than anyone else, so I'm really excited to find out where they're going. I've got some ideas. It's purely speculation of what and where, what they are. I think we're all pretty certain where they are now, thanks to Michael Brooks' little hint in the forums. It's got to be somewhere in the Pleiades nebula. I think the current line of thinking, isn't it, Ratking, is something like the metal planets, those kind of things?
Well... it's hard to tell overall, because the video that showed it off, essentially, was a planet sort of like this in terms of the colour of the soil, but it was also completely dark and nearly no stars are visible, so it's very hard. If it was maybe a bit lighter, or to someone showing, then we can tell a bit easier, but some people have... found that it was they spotted the nebula part. That's the part that's gotten some people closer to where it might be. And we've actually had people go like, right, here's a screenshot of where I am on this planet here. Sawyer's right, and it looks right to me of the nebula. Goes and posts that screenshot on the forums, and someone then goes, I'm sorry, sir. It is not good. You're still off by a few.
Yeah, I think that whole thread is just turned into a kind of mishmash of crazy thoughts and processes. But of course, there is a website, isn't it? Is canon.science, isn't it? Which is,
yes.
I forget the spelling, CANONN.science, which has a pretty good summary of all the bits and pieces that have been done so far. So if anyone does want to contribute, obviously they can get onto that website and kind of look at what's already been done instead. Now, isn't that the Pleiades nebula right in front of us? I think it is, isn't it?
I don't know my nebulas, but
pretty sure that is. I'm that sad.
I'd say it's the one on the left.
I think it is the one on the left. Let's go check the galaxy map. Let's have a quick look, but I'm pretty sure it is the one on the left, and I shall do that by searching for Merope. DJ Tarjan, I agree with you. That is my speculation as well. I think, or I guess, yes, and there's Merope over there, so that's definitely the Pleiades on the left-hand side. Pretty good. I'm pretty good in my nebula. Yeah, I think DJ Tartan's hit the money on the head there. Is that the barnacles? They look like some kind of processing facility or something for some species which has techno-organic kind of technology going on. So maybe. Whee! Oh, we've got some stuff here. Germanium, vanadium.
I think I'll just pick up whatever you don't want.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, by all means. I'm just looking for the materials for the, like I said, the long jump stuff. But I'm going to keep heading roughly in the 270 direction. Let's drive assist. Put drive assist on for a second. Keep heading that way. Any more bits in the chat? Gaming with Ian, yes. I think a lot of people did that once Michael Brooks put that little hint out there, that little tip about them being near the Seven Sisters. Then yeah, I think a lot of people headed out that way now.
We've already actually started ruling out the Seven Sisters. We found 2 Seven Sisters that currently do not fit what's needed. So, but the thing is that we have to remember that it may not be actually in the nebula, because we know Frontier and the little cryptid hints.
Things nearby, a good place to start looking. But yeah, like I said, it is a big haystack to be searching for that needle, isn't it? So it's yeah, it's gonna take some work, I think. Ooh, Commander Snuffler, greetings! Thanks for joining in tonight. And Mike Snoz, yes, Mike Snoz. For the record, Crash knows about as much as Alvin the dog. Yes. But yeah, I'm really excited to know how this storyline is going to play out, and hopefully I can get it. Because I know nothing, I can get more involved, which is great. So this is why I've been gathering up the materials for exploration, because I want to get out there and start scouting them down. And like I said right at the start, is you know, how are we going to plan out this this trip for making sure we've scoured an entire planet? How do you do that? How can you work cohesively as a group to split up and divide and conquer on a planet? That's going to be the interesting thing, so we can start to solve this mystery. Sabian Zero, greetings, thank you for joining in. I did see something flash by, I'm sorry if I missed it. HS3 was saying what we were talking about. Yes, the meta-alloys that DJ Tarjan's talking about there is a new type of commodity which shows up, which is these very rare things, meta-alloys, which are said to be created by these large barnacles, which are these mysterious objects which people are yet to find in the game, but were teased in the Horizons launch trailer. Kind of techno-organic looking structures on the surface of planets. So, why do I sound like I'm in a cupboard? If my boys have been messing with the microphone again, it might have.
Oh dear!
It might have the high filter on it or something like that.
They've been pretending to be you.
You're
too good of a father.
No, I don't know about that. I tell you, my eldest really wants to do streaming. Of course, he's not old enough yet, but yeah, he really wants to do it. Aim is shutting away for the evening. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Game with Ian. Do you think that the barnacles are in fixed positions on a planet, or would they spawn like other points of interest? Very good question, and I think Michael has already hinted at that in his post. I think they're a combination of both. I think that was it, Ratking. I don't know if you've seen that yourself.
I saw the post, and all he said was that I don't know where they're placed. So it could suggest that someone's put it down somewhere on planets at a specific location, which means then if we figure out what the requirements are needed, then good, we can find it. But if it's random, it's just RNG, and
it's going to be difficult to seek out. And I think he kind of hinted there was a little bit of both mechanics going on there. So it might be there's some smaller elements of the barnacles which are spawning as points of interest. So by scouting around, you start to kind of zero in on them. Then there was a couple of things which will be placed specifically as part of the treasure hunt, almost. No, that's just a Geiger counter sound. I'm just listening carefully to the sounds here, trying to pick up those sounds. So I don't know, I mean, how much materials hunting have you managed to do so far?
Well, since I've been focusing on finding new things, since the beta of Horizons, I've just only been going for the minerals when they've popped up right in front of me or to the side.
Yeah, just picking out the things that...
So, I've only got 31. Oh wait, no, it's now 33 because of what we got.
How much have I gotten there? So I've got... Yeah,
I've got fairly enough for all of the first tiers of the synthesis.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, you're more than welcome to pick up any of the bits and pieces, because I'm literally just scouting around now. I've got, would you believe, 251. I have absolutely stocked out. And like I said, I had to throw a load away because I just didn't have any space. There's no way that you could carry enough to do everything, you know, hundreds of times over. But I think I've got enough for. Let's have a quick look at this. I can repair 16 times. I can refuel 20 times. I can restock the ammo about 10 times as well, which is more than enough to carry on, because sulfur and phosphorus is pretty much all you need to keep the SRV going, and they are very common elements. They show up on pretty much every planet. So,
well, you just passed a load of these minerals behind you. So,
well, like I said, yeah, the Geiger counter. See, there's a difference. I don't know if you've heard the difference on the scanner at all. If you listen to the
yes, there's a difference in the sounds and how they look as well. A person on the forum has actually pointed that out in the UA thread, in the fourth one, and I just went, huh, okay, I'll leave that open. Because then I can go like, right, oh, that's a UA one. Because he actually sort of showed that the UA does slightly show on the Geiger counter.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it's very hard to distinguish it, as it is with all the things. You need to be well trained in it all. Yeah. I mean, this at the moment, there's a different shape on the scanners. Like the one at the moment I can hear is, I think it's going to be mesodorite. It's a single line at the very bottom of the wave scanner, and it's got a kind of scratchy metallic sound to it. So those are the ones I've been looking for, because they tend to have the rarer materials in. And I'm picking up, I think there's two at the moment. There's two distinct signals. Slightly. Yeah, I see them as well. Though it could just be your buggy.
Well, you tend to get, let me just turn that off again. You tend to get them in little clusters of 2 or 3. So you have little signals that overlap. Oh, they're starting to diverge now. So I've got...
Shall I take the left one while you take the
right?
right?
Sure, yeah, if you want to head over to the left one. Let's see if I can plan it. Probably 2 mesodorite, I believe. If that's how you pronounce it. I don't know.
Must be careful to not go past it. Oh, there it is, I think.
And we've got iron, vanadium. We like a bit of vanadium, that's good for the long range jumps.
Mercury.
Commander Revian! Greetings, Commander. How is the exploration trip going? Vanadium. Have you collected vanadium before?
I don't know what I've collected or not. I've just been going like, I'll collect this, I'll get this, but a quick search shows no. I don't think I've collected any of those.
If you want to go, vanadium and germanium are good for exploration because they give you the long range jumps. So if you, by all means, grab those. At the moment, the one I'm looking for is yttrium, I believe, which is the element I need. I need more of those. Yttrium. I've only got 6 at the moment.
Yeah, new mineral discovered, and it's a tier 4.
Yeah. Yoink, yoink! I told you, it's good stuff. Arms like noodles. Why did I turn the shields off? Because if I turn the shields off, my power usage goes down significantly. So I've got in the bottom right corner now, it's 0.1. Well, I've turned off the data link scanner as well. Because I'm just searching for minerals, I'm not planning on going anywhere near bases or any kind of man-made objects that are protected by drones or anything. So I don't need the shields or the data link scanner because I won't be getting attacked. The shields are only useful for getting attacked by weapons and stuff like that. Full damage is completely bypasses the shield. So if you smack into the side of a crater, it doesn't matter whether your shields are up or not. So it saves fuel, and you can just carry on buggying longer. Everybody drink. Oh, Revian, you've turned back on the exploration. Yes, RV blew up. Yes, I think I saw your message up on there. Roughly 2,000 light years away from Sol. Oh, that's the only thing, isn't it? That is my fear because I'm planning on going back to exploration as soon as I've gathered enough mats, and I'm kind of worried that I've got 2 SRVs in my ASP to go exploring, and I'm worried if I'm several thousand light years out and I lose one buggy, and I'll be thinking, should I head back now because I've only got the one to survive the distance? It's gonna be a bit of a one of those decisions. Choices have consequences.
Well, one of the key things with that though is simply you don't take any unnecessary risks.
Yeah.
Yes, being adventurous is nice, but if you go straight forward over a little bump and it ends up being straight downhill, you're gonna have some trouble unless you're really, really good. Yeah. What's that? I just noticed something there. Arms like noodles. You found that landing on your head, all the 4 damage was absorbed. That was something that happened in the beta, and I believe Mike Evans has changed the model since. So, and Mike Snolls, yes, I've fallen on my head plenty of times, you cheeky git. I know what you... That's alright, I know Snolls, he's winding me up. What's that? Snuffler, shields matter on your ship. In fact, I think they matter too much. I've slammed into the ground hard and it's only dented one ring of your shield. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering now that we've got the surface landing, whether or not the shields should be adjusted for that damage dampening effect they've got. It makes sense in combat, but if you're slamming into things, I suppose it's back for the day when we were first able to dock. I suppose they were kind of tweaked and tuned so that docking was a lot easier for people, so the shields gave you a real kind of boost, kind of a benefit, that kind of insurance that if you're going to dock that fast and do it like that, then you're going to have that cover. But yeah, I think maybe they do need a little bit of a tweak or adjustment. But then that's the case for everything in the game, though, isn't it? As new features are coming in, I think everything needs to be tweaked and adjusted. And one of the things that I think I'm really looking forward to is definitely with the looting and crafting coming in the next update. I think all the weapons are probably they're gonna have to go through some kind of balance pass, because I think everything's gonna change the way that you look at weapons with the looting and crafting system coming into play. So hopefully things like missiles are going to become a lot more useful, because I feel like they're massively underutilized at the moment. There really is not much point in using missiles or torpedoes, and I'd like to see more of that, like you did in the older games. They were more than just an I win button. They were a pretty interesting mechanic which made fights really interesting. The thing about that though is that if I haven't tried out to see if the missiles would be useful against the big anti-ship turrets, because if they are, or the torpedo pylons are, then that would be really nice. I would re-equip my Cobra for them by taking out the multi-cannons for them.
Yeah, and I think lots of people have been doing lots of tests on the missiles, but I think at the moment it's just they don't seem to fit any kind of niche in particular, which is a bit of a shame, which is why you don't tend to see a lot of people with missiles. I think some of the bigger ships, some people will load them up with loads and loads of missiles so they can literally just fire and forget, and just carry on flying, and it's enough time to kind of they almost become defensive rather than an offensive weapon in that sense, because someone will fire a heat-seeking missile at an oncoming player, and then gives them enough time to supercruise out of the way. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I think that's fine. That's one use for them, which I think works. And the ECM then becomes the counter for that, because not a lot of people go with ECM. So that's the thing. There has to be some useful reason for these, otherwise people are not going to use them. I think. Are you close behind, or is this?
I'm very close behind you.
All right. I feel like we've just heading down into the rim of a crater, and it's got a lot more.
No, I'm in front of you.
Hey! Oh, maybe it's your headlights.
Yeah, sorry. I have them on full beam as well.
What's this on there? Arms like noodles. Oh, the dumbfire missiles don't fire if your target switch is on silent running. I have not seen that. I thought that they should fire regardless.
I wonder if he's meaning heat-seeking.
I mean, heat-seeking, yeah.
Require a target.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they wouldn't fire without it, but. And Pleiades saying there's a bug in the dumbfire missiles. They need a target in order to be able to fire. That seems a little odd. You'd expect to just be able to fire them. See, again, that's one of those things. It's like you've got to feel like. What my perception is with that is Frontier have not bothered with balancing or working with any of these things because there's a big change coming down the line. I think that's what it is when you look at it. If you're going to be doing a looting and crafting system which completely rips the mechanics of weapon systems apart and rebuilds it, there's no reason to focus on doing the restructuring them or in any kind of way, working on the tiers of that. So I'm hoping that looting and crafting is going to give a big change to that, and it's going to make it be completely rebalanced. It would make sense to me. I mean, that's how I would attack that problem.
Oh, I just noticed something. Well, if you go into your turret mode,
yes,
and you look all the way down to where your map is, it actually is still working.
Oh, the little I've noticed that before. Let's see if I can.
I can see your little blue dot.
Yeah, I got the little blue dot on it and the little yellow indicator.
I feel so much more higher up in time as well.
Oh yeah, it's a good few meters in the ground. DJ Truthsayer, greetings, Commander. So I think we better get on to the newsletter. Actually, it's getting on, and we've not gone into the newsletter. So let's try and get this up on there. Oh, big newsletter mode. So yes, the new year, a reminder of all the things that are coming in Horizons. I think that's one of the important things of note. Is this season is not a one-shot deal. You're not getting just the one update, and and there's still lots of people saying, "Oh, it's just buggies and planets." No, it's not just buggies and planets, even though that's a lot of stuff coming. There's all these things coming. This is the one thing which I think a lot of people are really looking forward to, is the Commander creator. I definitely am. I can't wait to start making my Commander.
Have you seen what happened with Fallout 4's creator?
Yeah, there's been some pretty crazy I would say constructions or creations coming out of that, I think so.
I wonder if we'll be able to create a Fargoid once we find them.
Good question. I mean, I don't think that the initial Commander creator is going to be that detailed and complicated, but definitely, I mean, there's lots of hints saying there's going to be a lot of detailed tools that let you alter things, so that's going to be interesting. Obviously, the ship launch fighters is a big update. You'll notice a lot of the ships were updated in 2.0 with a vehicle or like a fighter bay module underneath them. If you look at like the keelback, for example, if you look at underneath that, it's got a big square area which is that bay there. So that's going to be an interesting thing when that comes in as well. Hopefully we get a few more fighter class ships, because I think that's the thing at the moment, is a lot of the older, smaller ships don't really fit in the current game because they haven't got enough space in them to have an FSD drive, so they've not really fit into the game. Once we get these ship launch fighters, there's the possibility of having a lot more of these smaller ships that can fit into these modules, and they suddenly become more useful. So things like the Kestrel, the Falcon, and most importantly the Crate, isn't it, Snuffler? Yes, the Crate. Absolutely need the Crate. DJ Tarjan, yeah, that's a very good point actually. The ship launch fighters is the tech needed for the Thargoids and the Thargons or Tharglets. Something like that. Yes. The original game obviously had that idea of you had that mothership would interdict you and pull you into witch space, and then the little tiny Thargons or whatever would come out, and they would attack you like little fighters. So that is kind of leading up to that possibility of Thargoids. I'm still heading roughly in the right direction, so I can leave that in. That is the beauty of Drive Assist. In case anyone did miss what I did, actually, head over into Drive Assist on. I'm using the Xbox controller, so I mean, all I have to do, point it roughly in the direction I want to go. You just set the accelerator to something you want, about 10 meters per second. Fire and forget. It's nice and safe. You're not going too fast. You can just go in a straight line, so you can just carry on exploring, listening for those key sounds.
So what's the next newsletter?
So so of course there's all the hints about the things that are coming in, the multi-crew crafting and looting mechanics we touched on. But I think the most important thing, which isn't really mentioned in any of these stuff, is the fact that the whole of season 2 is going to be focusing on gameplay elements coming into the game. There's going to be a lot more focus on giving us interesting things to do on the surfaces and you know, things to give us these tight loops, fitting things together. There's a lot of things today, and I want to give a shout out to Obsidian Ant. If you haven't seen his channel, he does a really great YouTube channel and does great videos describing parts of the game. He's just recently done one which I tweeted out today, and a very good analysis of it, and I think he's hit the nail on the head. He's exactly right. There's a lot of interesting parallel game mechanics in Elite Dangerous which are great in themselves, and they work well as all these independent individual elements, but at the moment there's none of that glue which is tying them together. There's nothing kind of encouraging you to go from one system to another system. System is the wrong word. To go from one game mechanic to another. So say for example, I think he was talking about the idea of going down to a surface and having a mission which encourages you to go back into space, and then that mission is take some guy in a occupied escape pod back to a specific station, and then maybe a chained mission from that to go find the black box from his destroyed ship to find out why he was destroyed. Those kind of things I think are interesting ways that all of these mechanics can be tied together. So I think that was a really good video from him on that one.
I also saw his video about the 10G planet.
Yeah. I've not found one which is 10 Gs yet. I have found the I think it's the one in Akinar 3, I think, which is a 6G planet, and that is
that one. In the beta, I did go by there in my clipper, and I just I actually recalled my ship, and when it came back down, it took shield damage.
Yes, yeah, I've seen that happen. Yeah, I've seen that happen, and it's it's scary. I think my first attempt to land on that planet, I absolutely lived up to my name. I just completely face planted into the planet. It was a mess. So yeah, I like those kind of things though. I like the fact that there's a huge variation of stuff, and if you're not careful, if you're not watching those things, like, I mean, we've got the where is it? There it is, the gravity indicator there. If you're not watching that information, if you're not listening to what the game's telling you and taking that information in, then you're going to make these mistakes. So it is worthwhile reading all that information, and it is there in front of you though. I mean, when you go into the system map, you look at these planets, you look at the detail you have there, all of that information is there for you to glean on. So I've got one more thing on the scanner. Let's go see what this is. Turn off Drive Assist again.
I'm looking forward to the multi-crew, which is also shown in newsletter. It's just that multi-crew will make things so much easier for new people.
Oh, absolutely, being able to assist and
yeah, because it means then that if the new person doesn't know how to work the ship properly and they have a friend that's playing it, then they can go, right, okay, you sit right beside me and just watch what I do. You can see everything that I do and just watch, and I'll do everything for you. Yeah,
absolutely. And just being able to assist. Yeah, by all means, you grab that. I'm still on the prowl for more yttrium. But yeah, there's definitely that. I mean, I've spoke to Commander Shorty, my sister, about that, and she's really keen on the idea, because obviously she's been so far out of the loop on the game, she hasn't really seen anything since the landings or anything like that. She's had a quick look at it when she came here, but that's about it. So yeah, she really liked the idea of just being able to sit in the co-pilot seat and let me kind of do most of the things, and she can occasionally press the big button that does this and press the button that does that, and it's like, great, helping. Which it kind of takes us back to the way we used to play it when we were kids, actually, when we played Frontier Elite 2 on the Amiga. Obviously it was a completely single player game, but you tend to kind of, she would sit there and we'd kind of be, you know, doing, she'd be looking at the book and kind of pointing out things that I'm not seeing and stuff like that. And we played lots of games like that on the Amiga, so it would be nice. Oh, sorry, I missed a couple of questions there. Oh, thank you, Game with Ian. That's the Obsidian Ants video there. 6.7G, is it, Toad? My goodness. Snuffler, if I buy an Elite woolly hat from this webpage, does Frontier give me commission?
Yeah, give you commission.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so I've got a link below. There is something in the newsletter, actually, in case anyone hasn't seen this, but these are back in stock. Yes, the Elite beanie hats. I've got one. Yay! Got one. I paid my own money for it. There's no more free stuff from Frontier. But yeah, the beanie hats are back in stock. So you click the link below and you can grab a beanie hat. They are back in stock. Oh, took a bit of damage there. Never mind. What's that, DJ Titan? You'd laugh so hard if Kerrash Landing just finds a barnacle scurrying across the surface. I doubt it very much. The chances of doing that are 1 in a million, I think. 1 in billions, trillions even, when you think about it. When we go back to that metric, was it 10 square AU? The chances of me stumbling across something at 12 meters per second, not going to happen. Now, interestingly, I mean, going back to that, actually, it was DJ Tarjan saying the Seven Sisters was the hint from Mr. Brooks. He did say nebulas. Nebulas are a good place to look, and he said, was it especially ones with 7 sisters? So he's not kind of ruling out the fact that other nebulas might also have interesting things in. And of course, nebulas are, I think I've kind of told everyone this before, they tend to have more of the heavier elements in, the rarer materials and things like that. So it could be that they are places of interest for these barnacle things. Kind of, maybe more speculation. I need my speculation alert banner, which unfortunately I've lost. I need to get it back. And
No!
I know. I had to reset the machine when I bought the new parts. I had to reinstall Windows and everything, and I lost a couple of things. I know. I thought I'd put it in a folder which was backed up, but it wasn't. So stupid Crash. Never mind. Huggy Monster, love the Amiga. I love the Amiga too. So if I can reach my Amiga, I can reach it. It's over here somewhere. It's not plugged in. My poor MIGI 600. It still works, but it's a little bit poorly. I need to replace one of the keyboard headers, I think, because some of the keys are going. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not very well. But my 500 is working well. But yeah, my 600 is a little bit poorly. But yeah, absolutely love the MIGIs. Played Flashback to death. Yes, Game Within. I love Flashback. Flashback was an awesome game. Absolutely loved it. Kerrash Landing has new hardware. Yes, I have new hardware. So hopefully the frame rate and everything is a lot better for you guys, and the compression and everything is definitely. I think I've seen an improvement on it. Anyway, I'm not getting so many drop frames. So yes, you should be getting better streaming stuff. And it also means that I could pass on my hardware to my son, which means we can both play Horizons. Yes. Snow Imp, greetings! Thank you for joining in tonight. How are you doing? It's been a long time. I haven't had a chance to chat to you in ages. Roll on, LaveCon. Saturnine saying, don't pretend to be a speculation alert. It is. I don't know. And greetings. I didn't see you slip in there, Saturnine.
I think I'll just say this now, instead of sitting on it more. I've been secretly watching you, Kerrash. All those talks we've had, they've been to try and get you to reveal everything. But sadly, you do know absolutely nothing.
I do know. Yeah, that's it. I can confirm that I can deny knowing anything. Yes. What hardware I've got? Yes, Snuffalo. I have 970, 4 gig. I've upgraded to. I've only got 16 gigs RAM. I know that's not much by your standards. I know you've got a crazy powerful machine, but I've upgraded to the latest 6th generation core processor. So it made a huge difference on Horizons, because I think the main thing is the variability of the frame rate, where on the surfaces before my older machine, which was the same graphics card. I had the GTX 970 in the old machine, but the original Core i7 920 processor meant my frame rate was kind of going, anywhere 60, 30, sometimes if it's really bad, dipping below, and it was really jumping up and down. With the latest 6th gen Intel processor, it really is almost rock stable at 60 frames per second. It really isn't causing many frame hitches at all. We've got a high signal coming over the horizon.
I just saw that. I was going to like, wait, what?
So that's going to be something man-made or something. So I might just pop the shields back on really quickly. They don't take long to warm up.
Well, this isn't an oh yeah, it is an okay planet. So
we are near civilization. Should be okay. Press Control F. Yeah, so I'm getting, I got 61 frames a second. I mean, it does have dips. I mean, I've seen it go down to around 57, 58, that sort of thing every now and then. You can see it's kind of flicking around. But yeah, it is a lot more rock solid stable,
it's
and
a crash site.
Is it a crash site? Ooh.
Well, it's more of a crash buggy site.
Ah, no big ships. I know a little birdie tells me, because I know there was a lot of speculation about this, and people were saying that the large crash sites with like ships like T9s and Anacondas and stuff, a lot of people were saying it's like, are they even in the game, because nobody has seen them. I can confirm they are in the game, and I know.
You are really resistant to my
I have it on a very good source that they have seen them, and they do exist in the game. Ooh, coffee! Mmm.
Wait, you can actually see
nom 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 nom. There we go.
Ah, it's not fair for me. You loaded it in first.
My scoop was down. I was ready.
That's actually an interesting thing as well. That reminds me about something that I do have a gripe with Horizons.
Oh, what's that?
View range. Range is limited to 2 kilometers in the ship. I can confirm that.
Oh, I
don't know what it is in the Scarab though.
For points of interest, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that there is something to do with the way that they kind of fade out if you go too low, they fade out if you go too high, so there is a limitation on the way that the points of interest were. And that has been brought up on the forums, and people have been asking about that. I think a lot of it is down to the idea that they want to encourage you to get out into the SRV, and some people say, "Oh, that's not realistic. That's not realistic." It's like, but there's got to be some drive or some reason for you to do that kind of stuff. And that does bring me to an interesting point on the newsletter. Actually, you just reminded me of that. Let's see if we can. We'll skim down to that first, because there's lots of bits and pieces in the newsletter, and I want to highlight this because fair play. Commander Solomore has proved that just collecting materials with an SRV, that's old. That's just way too common. Everybody does that. He's proved that you can actually, he or she, sorry, they can collect materials with your ship. So yes, you can actually find them if you can see them on the surface. They're going to be very small, very hard to hit. But if you do hit them, you can hit them and scoop them with a small ship. So it just proves it's there. It is possible.
Must be a sharpshooter in real life.
Yes, yeah, that takes some doing. Fair play. So let's get onto the element. Oh, I hear another. Have we got time to? Let's grab one more element first before we get back on the newsletter. I can hear it.
I think that's an outcrop signal.
Yeah, it's got the same scratchy metallic sound, but you can see that it's kind of a noisier, thicker bar, isn't it? So let's go ahead and turn my. There's nothing to scan there. Let's turn those back off.
I'm blind. Yes, I would stay blind forever.
DJ Trusair walks out for a second, and what do you miss? Bifford saying what's confirmed in the game. Yeah, nothing crazy or unknown, but there was lots of video and screenshots earlier on before Horizons was launched showing. Getting closer to the signal, I'm just listening in. Showing crash sites with like multiple ships, things like Type 9s and Anacondas. What is it? As a outcrop?
metallic.
Oh, metallic meteorite. Oh, it's mine, it's mine. That's alright, by all means, let's have a look, see what we've got. We've got tungsten yttrium! Nom
Hey!
nom 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 nom!
There's 2 of them!
Oh, excellent! Need. There we go. It's time to play Space Pac-Man. Is that tungsten? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's right behind you, so...
I think I just slipped into you.
There we go. There we go. And I can see another one, so we'll head that to it in a second. Yeah, so the big crash sites, like the Type 9s and the Anacondas, are they are in the game. So stay tuned, because as soon as I know, I know someone who is going to put something out shortly. So keep an eye on my Twitter, and as soon as I can tell you, I will tweet it out.
Just me.
Shout hello to Amy for Alvin and me, please. Yes, and Amy's not here. She's not here. Sorry, but yes, I will let her know. I will pass on the message. Waves to Mrs. K. Yes, absolutely. I did try to get her on for the New Year's show. I did try to get her to at least pop by and say hi, but she was too shy.
Oh, vanadium in an outcrop.
Yes, sometimes you do get it. This is what I mean. I think I've been pretty happy that, you know, on the equator of this planet I seem to have found quite a few good materials, so I think there is something to it. Vanadium, not really. You can grab that. That is good for long-range jumps if you want it. By all means, you can grab that. I've got quite a few at the moment.
To target it. And others. This is where I'm getting all my mineral collection in.
It's the way to do it. Wing up.
Taking a break from exploring, searching for the barnacle. There's something that's actually come to my mind, sort of, about everything that David Abrams said.
Yeah.
Maybe when, because he said it's in a region of space, or that's where it's most likely to be found. And he said about the nebula, but the thing is that we've been searching all around the nebula, specifically Moreau, but the UAs, they have been in a shell around the nebula, around the Pleiades area.
Yeah.
So maybe, actually, it's the Pleiades area of where the UAs are forming that sort of shell that it's in.
Yes. Yeah.
They could be actually sort of like a distress signal thing that is just simply going like, hey, they're in this area, come over here.
I mean, going back to what DJ Tarjan said at the start, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I like the idea that the barnacles are almost like industrial production facilities or something for this species, which has this kind of techno-organic technology. That they in some way are. They set up on these planets, they kind of grow, they gather all of the raw materials on the planet. Then maybe they're creating these creating the unknown artifacts and launching them up into space. Maybe they are effectively research facilities launching probes. You know, there's so many possibilities of what they could be, and that's what's really, really exciting to find out.
Well, they're not going to be happy with me, are they? I've stolen one of the probes and kept getting the help. At least I haven't destroyed it.
Exactly, yeah, you don't know what you're stealing. You don't know what you're stealing. Some kind of space alien thing. Oh, let's see if we can get that on the screen to show everyone, yeah. Zoom in a little bit there. There we go. Yes! These things! Whatever these things are. Nobody knows what these things are, but we're assuming they're some kind of alien production facility. They are in the game. They are somewhere. No one has found them yet. 400 billion stars is a pretty big haystack to be searching for that needle. So yeah, it's going to be interesting when someone does actually come across those. Yeah, we are in the wrong place of wrong area of space to be searching for those at the moment. So I think I've got another signal. It's just.
It's me going on ahead.
Oh no! It's definitely a metallic one. It's a single line, so.
Oh, yeah, you're going in the opposite direction of where I am. Another thing about that though is that the cannon is trying to do their best with getting us organised and going like, right, this system's clear, don't explore it anymore, go to this system now. Because if it's in the nebula, fine, we search the sisters first and then we search the nebula. But after that, it's gonna be the entire Pleiades area,
Region,
maybe every system with Pleiades in the name.
Yeah.
And so for that, the manpower required, it's gonna be a lot more. And currently, I think I haven't checked the numbers for very recently, but I think we're still under 200 members, but over 100. So we could do with the help for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone working together would be nice as well.
Yeah.
Because we're expecting Palin to hopefully get his little base set up. And then he'll maybe be able to help us. Though we may have to feed him stuff again.
Yeah, hopefully it's. I mean, I definitely want to try and get out there and start helping with that as well. Now that I've been cleared, I've been let off the leash to do it. But yeah, it really needs as many people as like all hands on deck to kind of uncover this mystery, and I think it's well worth doing because it's going to be the next big part of the storyline coming along. Then I think there was always going to be that problem with that kind of story is that it's a very difficult puzzle to solve, and it's such a big play area that it's Frontier kind of walking that line between how much do we give the community in form of clues, and you know, how much do we kind of let everyone figure out to themselves, because there's been some great leaps. I mean, remember when the I forget the name of the commander that figured it out, but the UAs were scanning the ships.
What they were saying, you mean when they were scanning the ships?
Well, yeah,
I can't remember the commander name as well, but he just suddenly popped on the forums and said, "Hey, I think I got it," and we all went, "What?"
Yeah, suddenly,
and
boom!
Paper Vince confirmed it and said, "You got it," and it was just like,
just that sudden realization. I think that's sometimes just having more people working on that problem is all you need, just to bring fresh ideas and kind of help to break that problem down. I think that's definitely the only way that you can really solve these problems is to just get as many minds working on it as possible.
Yeah. It does take integrity off the mind as well, though, because many people have had enough with the UA and just gone away because they've just gone like, this is taking too long. And in a way, some people have been thinking that was the same for me over the Christmas, because I just was off grid, although I had plenty of ways for me to be contacted, because I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, but my Facebook page is rather empty. I have nothing to put up on it. I do not know what to do with it. But I have all of those, and Twitch of course, and it's just no one contacted me, and I was just going like, well, I'm waiting for things to happen, or for me to not be busy anymore so I can actually search. Because carrying the UA and going on the planets and exploring is very risky to do.
Yeah, and I can understand that, yeah. Oh, sorry, we're going to... I did miss a question on there. Vonner, you never seem to have the option to change stream quality. It's a bit of a tricky one. It's entirely up to Twitch about whether or not they give you that option. I've toyed around with it a little bit in the past. I tried upping the quality of the stream to 1080p, and the issue was that it then kind of prevented anyone who didn't have a high enough download to be able to watch the stream, because it was just it was too much for their broadband to cope with. So I just decided, instead of playing around with the quality settings, I picked on a medium setting which would work for most people, so that as many people as possible could watch.
Yeah, with my YouTube videos, I could go to 1080p, but it would require more out of my computer and such, and also with uploading. So I've gone with the 720p because that's usually okay for most. Exactly,
yeah, kind of that medium range thing, yeah. So, next thing we wanted to bring up on the newsletter, and this is an interesting chart that Mr. Brooks put in his dev update this week, talking all about the faction states and how they feed into the powers, and he was saying how at the moment there's not much direct linkage between those two systems, and this is something they want to do this year, is bring these two mechanics together so that there is a more direct interaction, so that player factions can start to influence the powers a lot more, and the powers can influence them, and vice versa. A lot more interaction between the two systems, and it's just going to mean that things are going to feel a bit more believable. Things are going to start to work together well. This little chart here, which kind of explains how some of the actions affect the various levels. You've got the influence, how various activities, illegal trading, murder, those kind of things will kind of feed into different states and kind of drag with the system one way or another. And the main reason that Michael wanted to put this up was to kind of get rid of some of the misconceptions. A lot of people have been looking at the background simulation, and you see people which either say it's halted, or it's broken, or it's not doing this, it's not doing that. But I think what Michael was trying to say was he's seen a lot of people assume it should be working one way, but then when it actually comes down to it, it's like, well, actually this isn't how it should be working, guys. You know, you don't understand the system, so here's a little bit of information to kind of make that a little bit more obvious. But he did admit there are things that they want to change, things they want to improve to make the background simulation a little bit more believable and start to work together. And there's definitely that little hint that he's been putting out a while, that one of the minor player factions may be promoted to a full power sometime this year, which is interesting. I think that's going to be the big test of that. He did also say in his dev update that power play is going to be getting a lot of attention this year to improve the systems there, definitely make it a lot more believable and kind of more integrated into the overall way that the game works. Space Pac-Man. So let's...
I also saw a question for me as well. I think it was from Gaming with Ian.
Oh, yep.
And it was simply, if I have the... Sorry, I have ads going on.
No worries.
There we go. Right, turn it off. But it was simply that, do I have the UA in my SRV right now? No, I can actually leave it in the ship, which goes up into orbit, and the ship then sort of like shuts down and is untouchable. It's in its invincible state because it's actually hidden game mechanic. It's out of phase.
Yes, that's what you need to see. It's imagination to fill the gaps. That's what you need on it. But
no, the UA doesn't damage it, so that's the good thing about it. However, to cover the amount of ground needed then to search an entire planet for a barnacle which is about the size of maybe Type 9 or Anaconda, give or take, you need to be in a ship. And so I then usually fly around in the ship, going to the points of interest, try and see them from the air, though it's very annoying because of that view distance, and then go, right, is this interesting enough, or what's in the cargo canisters, and just see about them. So my ship does take damage then, but when I'm in the SRV and the ship is out in orbit, it's not taking damage. However, the ship, usually I let it go to about just before the 80s before I head back to the station. And actually, something gave me a fright.
Oh.
It was when I saw the news about Obsidian Orbital having the station malfunctions. I went, oh, I'm going to have to travel between the rope or the Pleiades Nebula and the nearest repair, refuel, and rearm station, and that was ages away, over 100 light years, which is, it's not far for you people who don't have a UA, but a UA can strike many times in that space.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of a scary thing. That distance with having to keep your ship repaired and functional over that kind of range is, oh, yeah. I can imagine that's pretty scary.
Along with the UA hunters as well. Those are even more annoying.
Yes, I can imagine. What have we got then? Iron, germanium, vanadium. Oh, that landed on me practically. Whoops. There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, it did actually, because I was sat right there. Let me set my drive assist back to neutral again. DJ Targin saying that breaks the immersion, and I agree with Mike Snoz. Yes, find a bucket. Yes, if you want immersion. Yeah, I know. The end of the day, if the game was completely believable and realistic and everything worked in a way which met the physical laws of this reality, people would be complaining about it being too damn hard and too much like real life. You know they would. So games design is all about finding that balance. So it's yeah. So Jawad, nice haircut. Yeah, this is the problem. I need a haircut. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a whole new game for me.
Yes.
it actually opens my game up a bit more again, so I can actually go ahead and do some in-game things without going like UA.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I found was unfortunate, because you can't store a ship with any kind of cargo, can you? So you are pretty much completely limited by that. And
the only safe spot is inside a station, any station, because they just simply goes like, right, let's just tighten up this bolt, and there's a crack in the hole. Okay, I'll tighten that up. Fix it.
All done. All done.
That bolt is loose again. What the? Oh well, I'm paid to do this, and he's getting it for free.
Yeah, all sorted.
Otherwise, I would be out of my cash, and thankfully I have 47 million in the bank. I did have 52 million. So you can tell how much the UA is taking out of my funds.
Yeah, and you've not been able to kind of do any activities that would significantly earn more money in that time. So
I've actually been spending money on the charity missions when I go through a system, because that way I get my reputation with them up, and they're less likely to scan me or interdict me, and that's something you want to avoid.
Yeah. A couple of questions there. Vonner, if you want a real space simulator, try Orbiter. Yes, I've tried Orbiter. That is very, very good. Got some accurate interpretation of like the space shuttle display panels and everything. Every single button you can simulate in it. Very, very good. This is a big, nasty canyon we're right on the edge of here.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering, but I think it's probably going to be better to go straight down. I think.
Yeah. Oh, that actually reminds me of the newsletter.
Oh, sorry. Oh, the canyon. Yes. Let's see if we can find
that. Racing canyon.
Let's bring this up, because I want to go to this planet, so I'm definitely going to take a detour out there, see if we can find it. Yeah, this canyon here.
While you're finding it, I'll just say yes, you can find UAs in plentiful supply in the UA shell, which is about 140 light years away from Europe.
Yep.
So anywhere within a circle of that range, from 0 to 140, 130, you should be able to find the UA in a strong signal source.
Yes.
You be prepared to run. Again, I recommend the Cobra Mark III because it is very fast and quick. You do want it.
I think that was since 1.4 the quantity they've been a lot easier to find, haven't they, since then? So, but there we go. But yes, here's the image from this. That was really good. Commander Edgar Starwalker has found this great little canyon in the loop on air, and I think this is going to be the great place for some canyon racing on a ship. And I've done it with an Eagle. If you get a fully A-spec Eagle and fly around close to the surface of a planet, it is so much fun. It feels like pod racing or something. It is really, really awesome. So I want to go to this place and give it a try. I think it'd be really, really cool to play with. What are we doing? Crash? No, I won't be getting the Oculus. No, I'm going to wait and see what is the best solution for VR before I start buying any. I think that's probably the sensible thing to do. There's no point rushing out and getting the first kit that becomes available on the market and then not knowing if it runs on your system or if it is actually going to run the experiences you want to. Because of course, as much as I mean, everyone's saying at the moment with all the VRs that they won't have any exclusive experiences, but of course that's going to change. You're going to end up with differences. The different companies are going to want to differentiate their hardware from other providers, and you're going to end up with a disparity. I mean, already looking at some of the HTC Vive demos you get, they're more kind of stand up and walk around style experiences. So already you've got that kind of differentiation between them and Oculus. So for me, it's going to be a question of which of those experiences do I want? Which one is going to work best for that? And then I will pick the hardware based on that. I think at the end of the day, I've said it many times before, it's the software that sells the hardware, not the other way around. I'm not going to buy a brand new TV because it's the best TV out there, but it doesn't actually run the Blu-ray movies that I want to watch, sort of thing. It's crazy. I wouldn't do that. I would buy something if it can play the content I want to play, and that's the way I look at it. But enough of me waffling on about that. I don't want to get on to the price of it. I think the price was, yes, it was higher than expected, but that's mainly their own fault because they stupidly tried to set expectations several times and got it so badly wrong. But considering it's a top spec cutting edge piece of consumer tech, I'm not at all surprised with the price.
I'm the first people on the market as well. But the thing is though, is that I very much I would recommend against getting the Oculus because they have not been kind to games developers.
Yeah.
With Elite, they changed the entire source code and made it impossible for Frontier to use the original coding to
which was a
have
big
it
shame.
fixed in.
Yeah, and that's been my kind of bugbear with them all along. Is I kind of saw it coming. I mean, nothing against the guy. I think he's a fantastic engineer, but to me, it absolutely feels like one of those Carmack crunch moments where he's found something late in the day which allows him to get an extra 10% performance, and let's completely gut it and start again, sort of thing. Which it feels like that's what's happened. That they've found a way of doing that. They've made it better, which is great, but they've kind of alienated a lot of people that were using their framework, which is a big shame. Whereas from the other side of the camp, you look at something like Valve and HTC, they really have been trying to actively keep the platform as solid as possible for the developers. There is that, but like I said, at the end of the day, I'm just going to sit down and say, wait and see. Whatever's the best when it comes out in the wash of all the comparisons and stuff, I'll buy that one. And by that time, it'll probably be half the price anyway. So, oh, sorry, some good questions coming from the thing. Vonner, yeah, my hardware is now fine. I've done the Oculus hardware check. I've got enough to run the Oculus. I'm not worried about that. But I'm not going to go out and spend £600 just to be one of the first people to. Or £500, I should say, in the UK, because as usual, hardware developed in the US, we get stung by the Atlantic tax. But yeah, I'm not going to pay that sort of money to be an early adopter. I'm going to wait until it comes down in price. There's no point. You find it all the time with GPUs as well. I mean, it's nice having the top spec, Titan X when it first came out, but then newer cards come in later down the line which give you just as much capabilities for half the price, for example. Oh.
You nudged me.
I saw a signal and started heading that way.
And it was me.
There we go. Oh, there is a signal there. There is something. It might be a metallic meteorite, hopefully.
Also, educating Ed. That's getting a redo now.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So, Educating Ed, Part 8 is starting up now that Ed's rested up from the holiday back in. I think he's going to be working with the Imperial Inquisition with a bit of a Fight Club style thing going on, I think, giving in some combat practice. See how he copes with that. I know...
We're going to be making him go back to the 24-hour stream, just thinking back to that Hunter Games.
Oh, it's an outcrop. Ah, never mind. Outcrop might have a few
Well, so far they've been plentiful in the Vandinium sector.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I think going along the equator does seem to give you a little bit of a boost in numbers. I've definitely seen quite a significant bump up in metallic meteorites and things like that. So, sorry if I've missed your questions, folks. Z-Wolf,
Someone's
greetings.
saying that if you get back to the US, you should be able to buy one. It's soon enough.
Yeah, might be able to do that. Although the other interesting thing that kind of, I don't know whether it's a tactic, something they were planning all along, but with the pre-order scheme, it's kind of turned into this. It's almost a way of them judging the amount of interest, and they keep saying about pushing the dates back, because originally it was April, then it was May, now it was June, is saying now, so anyone who's ordering now is going to have to wait until June to get one. It does seem like the whole pre-order scheme was just a way of them judging the numbers they were going to need to develop, to build, sorry, to manufacture, and now they're kind of saying, well, it's grown this much, so it's going to take this much longer to build all of these units. So I think the whole exercise of pre-ordering has literally just been a way of kind of getting out there first and saying, this is how many we're going to need to make. So
the thing is,
which makes sense.
With the recent gaming years, pre-ordering has become too popular and too untrustable.
Yeah.
As we know with Deus Ex and many other pre-order schemes.
Yeah, that was probably the worst pre-order scheme in the history of pre-order schemes. I think that whole idea of unlocking game content by encouraging your friends to buy it too, that was just, I've never known anything quite so diabolical.
Yeah, but that's why I now go like, right, I'm gonna wait until it's released, then I'll see what the price is.
Yeah. But
I'll only pre-order it if it's something that I absolutely want, and I know I'll get my time's worth out of it. Because they usually, Star Wars Battlefront, that one actually, in my opinion, is a lot worse than Deus Ex, because the full price for getting the entire expansion pack and everything, the expansion pass, if you get that, you're paying for loads of maps that were meant to be there in the beginning.
Yeah.
And you're paying a load more than what it would actually cost for you to get them.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And the pistols and weapons you get and movements, they're not really that too good.
Yeah.
Though the pistol is really good. And it just means that it then turns into pay to win right from the get-go, as people can level up really fast from having
some overpowered weapon. Yeah, and that's a shame. I'm not keen on that. And I mean that's something the Frontier have always said, and David Braben's always been dead against the idea of any kind of pay to win. So we won't see any of that stuff coming in.
Though I do find the pay to win to slightly be there in terms of with the minerals, though I haven't explored the minerals enough to say if it's sort of pay to win there, because you can get those damage boosts, hull strengths and everything.
Yeah,
and people who are flying around, you can't trade the minerals with them to get it, so that those minerals are circulating around. Just the harder to get for those who
don't have the second season. Yeah. And I understand where you're coming from. I think that's one of the things that's been a worry to a lot of people. I think the problem that Frontier have got is they need to make some content which is going to encourage users to want to buy Season 2, so they have to kind of make something which is an interesting enough addition to the game to want people to buy it. I think materials are going to be the least of anyone's concern once some of the newer things coming, like being able to do the commander creator and the multi-crew. I mean, when you think about it, multi-crew could potentially give you much more of a bonus than anything the materials can, because if you're splitting up the responsibilities of running your ship and you're just doing the flying and the combat, someone else is managing your shields and turrets, potentially that could give you a lot more assistance effectively and make the game even easier again. So that could be considered an element of pay to win. And I think there's always going to be that problem that as they introduce more features into new seasons, and because you're going to have to pay for these new seasons, there is always going to be that idea that these additional mechanics are going to spill over and give you kind of an advantage. So I don't think we're ever going to get away from that.
Yeah. Actually, how about we ask the chat to do something?
Oh.
How about they discuss and suggest ideas for having the expansions out and everything, and make it so that it's not paid to win, but people don't lose so much from it. So what would you do instead of having the Horizons pass and everything? Because what if, say, you were David Braben's shoes? Would you have it so that it stays how it is now, or would you change it to something else? And what would it be? Just discuss that, chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I think that's the thing, which is all too common. I see on things like the forums and stuff, is people are quick to dismiss something as being bad and not conducive of a good environment, or you know, there's something they don't like about something, and immediately it's like, oh, we shouldn't have that. It's wrong. But then no one, or you very rarely see someone offer up an alternative to resolve that in any other way. Often you find when people start to consider that there are no better ways of doing it, and in fact the option that you've got tends to be the one that the game's developer have picked because it's the best. Sorry, a couple of things we missed on that. Arathon, yes, I know, I'm sorry, it was a bit of a tinfoil hat. Yeah, the whole Oculus pre-order things, yes, they're doing in production batches, so yeah, I am being a little bit paranoid there. I did say I was just evoking conversation. Like I said, I didn't really want to discuss what they're doing with it. I think it's great that we're getting VR again, so as much as all these crazy hands up in the air stuff about it, it's like, if you want it and you can afford it, grab it. If you can't afford it, sorry, it's cutting edge. Not everyone can afford a gaming PC, so
32 player instances.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to catch up through all the things on there. Crossbow, you like how some planets, some moons are totally dark and you need your light. Yeah, like I said right at the start of the stream, I landed on this planet in the daytime. We've got this twin planet up there, which was really, really lit up very well in the daytime, and then when I came to do the stream this evening, it was pitch black here, so kind of lost that. Is there a video with an Anaconda crash site already? Oh, there is a video with an Anaconda crash site already. Okay, then the person I know may have been pipped to the post, but great, it's up there. Levi's, greetings, Commander. Yes, they've said that a 4-person multi-crew would be like a wing on a ship. Yeah, so you kind of have that balance there. You can't have 4 people working together on one ship in groups of 4 ships. That's not going to have that. But I'm keen to know how that balance is going to work, of having 4 people working together on a ship. How much better does that make your ship? Does that allow you to basically supercharge every functional unit on your ship and effectively be much better than the same equivalent ship with a single player in? That's what I'm keen to figure out how that's going to work. Z-Wolf walking around inside your ship is coming at some point. Yes. I doubt they'd sneak it in just inside the avatars. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Commander Creator stuff that we've touched on, that is coming this season, and it is just kind of a first hurdle to get over once we've got unique looking commanders. Obviously we can start to have interesting interactions with players. This is a metallic meteorite. Yes, it is. I'm so sad I can recognise the shapes from a distance. Yttrium! Om nom 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 nom.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we've got
also,
some.
I've noticed that people aren't. People think that the expansion so far has actually been not very pay to win. It's been actually okay, and that instead they would improve the instancing. So David Raven's doing a good job on one side, but not so good on another side.
Yeah, I mean that's. There's always going to be the problem. I mean, I've spoke to David about the things like that in the game, and you know the one thing which I think has held the game back from many years ago. And he wanted to create Elite 4 many years ago, but the thing that held him back was the technology. Like the internet in particular just wasn't there. And what they're doing with the peer-to-peer technology is really kind of pushing the upper limits of what most people's home broadband can do. So they are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, that there was not many options available to them. If they went to a full server architecture, it would have been so costly to run. There's no way they could have created the game on the budget that they had, or there would have to be some severe limitations imposed on the scope of the game just to be able to run that kind of server architecture, which is why they went to the peer-to-peer. But then, of course, we all know the issues with peer-to-peer, trying to get everyone synced up and making sure that no individual's firewall is causing severe problems with each other. It is a real pain in the ass. It kind of spoils the game in a lot of ways, but at the same time, when it works great. I know with my son on the same network now, we sync up, no issues, no latency, everything's perfect, and it feels like this is the way that Elite should be, when you're playing on a LAN. And it just goes to show that any of these issues you see, it's completely outside of the control of Frontier. There's not much they can do with the internet being the way it is today, which is a real shame.
Yeah, more people are just saying that it's just netcode and everything, and that the expansion stuff is perfectly fine. Which, it goes against what I've seen in terms of videos, because there was this, I'm not going to name and shame, there was this person...
Oh, we're not on the forums, name and shame.
Twitch. Twitch don't allow it. So
oh, do they? Oh, do they? Oh, okay.
They aren't very too nice about stuff like that. But there was this person on YouTube who put up a video and said that he was a long-time fan of David Braben and played the original Elite stuff. And he said that the expansion is just absolutely, it's a money grab.
Oh, really?
That we're just paying all this money and just getting to be able to drive around on planets and do absolutely nothing. And that nothing pays out well enough or anything like that. But the thing is, though, is that he hasn't obviously captured what the intention was, because I've been looking around and I've been just fine driving around here. It's just nice to do it, and we've been collecting minerals, and we had no reason to do this except for just because we wanted to.
Yeah.
It's just, it looks so nice as well.
Yeah.
Remember, that moon up in the sky, that's actually now lit up a bit more. It's just going like, oh, I'm gonna aim for you. There's other amazing things as well, like, I've seen a post on the forums where people have found a planet getting another planet revolving around it at such a speed that it turns to night for about 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. I actually landed on that to have a quick look, and it is pretty cool to behold. And just the fact that these things, it is a real galaxy and everything's orbiting and moving the way it should be. And again, there was something very early on when the game first launched. A lot of people were saying that, oh, it's not real. There's no real orbits. It's like, yes, it is, but it takes a huge amount of patience to realise it, unless you find a planet like that one, of course. So I think sometimes from an external point of view, people can look at these things and not realise there's a lot more going on than what there really is on there. A couple of comments in there. Sabian Zero, just waiting for things to come to the Xbox One, but happy with the game. Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of... Frontier did say very early on that the PC would remain the platform where the focus was on, because they can get updates out quicker. The problem with the Xbox One is that these things take a lot longer to go through the verification process and stuff like that. I'm really hoping that people on Xbox One will get Horizons as soon as possible. I know it would make a huge difference to people playing the game on Xbox One platform.
I have heard from a little birdie that it's possibly coming to the PS4 as well.
Yes, to be honest, I think David confirmed this last year sometime, maybe, that they wanted to go to PS4 and the Xbox One was a timed exclusive. It wasn't going to be only on that console forever. So there is scope for it to come onto the PS4 at some point. The hardware between the two consoles are very, very similar. I am completely platform agnostic, so I'm not going to get into any of these arguments. I think all platforms are great. The more platforms you can get the game on, the better, because it just means that more people can play the game. And I've said it many times before. I mean, I was a console kid growing up. I had the NES and the Sega and all those kind of things. I had no idea what these PC things were. And then when I got my Amiga, which I still have here, my lovely Amiga, I got my Amiga and I tried this game out, and I just blown away by the fact that there were games out there which weren't just platform games and shooters, and I was like, yeah, this is the type of game that I've been wanting for such a long time. So
we're not on the planet surface of Morocco right now, sorry, and it's more, the haze is more because of our lights and the dust that we're kicking up.
Yeah, let's see if I can, let's just, I know this is scary, I could turn my lights off a second. There we go, so I just got
I'll turn mine off as well. There we
are. It's pitch black. It's pitch black. So
it's
now
not pitch black for me for some reason. The only time I've managed to get it so that it's pitch black is when there's an eclipse happening. That's the only time I've ever managed to get a pitch black darkness of where I need lights to be able to go around. But here, it's just
there is a little bit of
dark. Yeah. It's like dusk.
I think what it is, I mean, we've got a little bit of light from the galactic plane there. We've got a little bit of light reflecting off the planet above, so I have noticed that does make quite a significant impact to the light of some planets, particularly when I was way out, I think it was near the Witch Head Nebula, which had a there's that purplish glow to it. So that one was great because on the dark side of the planets there you would see some some fantastic colours lit up from the ground. Oi, Gravespawn! Greetings, Commander! Oh sorry, I've missed a lot of things in the chat, so I'm just gonna
lots of people just joining in late, and someone, Saturn, says that he or she can't wait until we can walk around whenever you're stuck on a planet and run out of fuel. You hitchhike back to
yeah, someone
go find some rocks.
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, you take a personal mining utility on your commander, you hike out, you try and find that one little rock with some sulfur and phosphorus off it, enough to refuel your SRV and jump back in. All those things are possibilities coming later down the line, and those are the things that I find most exciting about what's coming in the game is the potential, obviously. So.
There's a little problem with oxygen.
Of course, yeah, you'd have a...
That's why I think we're missing Ben for actually getting the Dark Knight. The atmosphere. We need the atmosphere of the planets. We need atmospheric planets to be able to get this darker sort of seeming night. Yeah,
to kind of block out some of the light, I suppose, from it, yeah. Yeah, if you had something like that, I think it would diffuse a little bit more. That light would kind of fade from nearby planets and things.
I'd rather not judge Saturn. I'd just rather stick on the safe side of going like, right, either he or she. I'm gonna try and just not say which one you are. Because I have no clue, and I'd rather not go by names, because there are so many names in the English language where you go, so right, hi, hey, and now that I'm on the topic, I can't think of any. There's loads of them, though, where you can have one person be a female and have the name, and also be a male and have the same name. It's just... so, yeah.
So I just want to, I guess, just put that up on there for a scrum bomb in the chat there saying, oh no, they've added a playtime counter. Yes, my playtime counter is currently 7 weeks and 3 days, which is nothing compared to some people. I know there's people out there that are easily double or triple my time.
I thought mine would be higher, but right now it's actually 2 weeks, 2 days, 1 hour, 19 minutes. Yeah, quite minor, but that's really because UA... the only times I could get on were times that I would then be going like, right, time to investigate the UA. If nothing's happening with the UA, I was either risking it with going out.
Yeah.
And movies prove it, and so does real life, that the more you take the risk of something happening, the more likely it is to happen. Yes, it's 1 in a billion, but that chance slows down to bigger amounts
yeah.
the more you do it. Which is why I'm really happy about the SRV.
what's that, Z-Wolf? You've done something like that with Rift on crossbow, just sat there and stared into a massive planet and pretend I'm on the ISS. Yeah, there are some great games that are coming out on some of these platforms. I think Adrift is one which looks really, really good. I saw that at E3 last year. I didn't get a chance to play on it because we were just too busy. But yeah, that looked really good. I don't know. Have you seen that one, Adrift, Ratking? Have you seen that game? So it's kind of you're out doing a spacewalk around a space station up in Earth orbit, and some disaster occurs on the space station, and you're basically left. It's kind of like Gravity, the game. You know, you're kind of the only survivor in some major disaster, and you're kind of scrambling between the broken sections of the remaining space station to find oxygen canisters before you suffocate and things like that. Oh, it's really kind of intense, but it's great. It's great.
I think I've maybe seen it somewhat around the place. Just hasn't caught my eye. I'm not really a horror fan, man.
So a lot of people saying they're about half my time on their Sabian Zero game with Ian, I think he said.
12 weeks is what I've seen.
It's not. Oh yes, 12 weeks for Moose 666. Sitting in a station doing a nothing timer. Yeah, I think a lot of mine is that. It's kind of sitting in a station moderating the forums timer is what I need. I tell you. Oh, there's is that from Bazooki there? Image from a dark planet. See if we can get this up on the screen for you there. That's a nice one.
Really get up
I like that.
Because I don't have dual monitors like you. Dual monitors would be so useful, but then again, my desk, I don't have money to buy extra desks and such, so I'm having to make do with what's been passed down and what's been generously what parents have given to me very generously.
Oh! This driver.
What is happening?
My drive assist is making me do things I don't want to be doing. There we go. Turn drive assist off. That's the only problem with that drive assist. I mean, for anyone who hasn't tried playing around with the settings on it, drive assist basically locks your accelerator. It's like cruise control. It locks your accelerator at a given position. So then you tend to get in these things where it's just keeps on accelerating and you want it to stop. It's like, stop, for goodness sake, stop. And it's just too late at that point. You're just driving into things.
I did good then by not going with driver assist right from the beginning, because I was going like, right, I want to actually have the assist off in one of these modes. Transport.
Yeah. Oh, go on. Yes, Shrombomb. Yes, log on. Give us your playtime. Let us know your playtime. How much of an elite fanatic are you? I think we'll have to rename the Crash Landing stream to the weekly Elite Anonymous. Hi, I'm Crash. I've been playing for 7 weeks, 3 days, 4 hours, and 7 minutes.
But the thing is, though, is that you've got work and stuff, and you've got family as well. You deserve to spend some time with them. You shouldn't be spending all the time you have with everyone here, unless you're a prisoner or something. Do it or you'll regret it.
No, there's no. Turn my wing beacon off there. No, it's like I said. Most of the time, it's kind of turn the game on, leave it running, and then again just spend time with the family anyway. So I think my 7-week counter is probably nowhere near as crazy as it seems. Nat's right. 3 weeks, 4 days. Edorin 3 weeks, 5 days. Darksmax 7 weeks, 6 days. Lots.
Has anyone approached a month yet, I wonder?
Oh, I think there's a few. I was chatting to Commander 1%. I was chatting to him earlier on today, and I mean, everyone probably knows the name. Commander 1% was the first player to achieve triple elite status when the game was first launched. So no doubt their play counter is very, very high.
Yeah.
Vonner 4 weeks, 5 days here.
I was hoping for that playtime counter was actually coming along for us to see when they actually showed it in his playtime, and I was going like, they are keeping track. I want to see.
Yeah, I think that was my fault. I tweeted it out just kind of as a joke, roughly wondering how many hours I'd spent in the game. The next thing I know, Frontier support guys went and put it out for me. And then, of course, everyone started tweeting then saying, oh, what about me? What about me? What about me?
Oh, dear.
Started a bit of a wave. Then the next thing we know, in the patch the week after, they put it back in the stats page on the player screen. So thank you, FDev. See, they do listen. If you ask them nicely, then they will put those options in for us. DJ Targent saying the new canon thread is up to 20 pages already.
Yep.
So,
It builds up fast usually when there's a new one.
I've been seeing the moderator chat flashing in the corner of my eyes, so they're probably it's like all hands on deck.
Well, hopefully they aren't having to be all hands on deck. I thought that everyone in there is usually okay.
It's pretty good in there. It's pretty good now. Huggy Monster, 12 weeks, 16 hours. My goodness, that's a big score. Garzini, 5 weeks, 2 days. Rehin, 2 weeks, 3 days. And you've managed to get a federal Corvette. That is some good going there. So yeah, see that's the thing. I mean, you know, a lot of people say it's like, oh, how many hours does it take to do this and take to do that? The problem is my playstyle is very much kind of random and opportunistic. I just end up doing the random things I feel like doing at the time. I never kind of knuckle down and boost through something like some players will. But it is entirely possible, as you can see from that score there. Sorry, that's a bad way of putting it. That time there, that you can do these things very quickly if you set your mind to it. And I know for a fact I'm not sure what my son's playtime is, but it makes me laugh when I see people. It's like, oh, it's really hard to make money, or it takes so long to make money. My son is 8 and he has over 7 million credits now. So you know, if my 8-year-old son can do it, then anyone can do it. I mean, it's not hard. Phosphorus and carbon. I really need to set there is a way in the controls actually. If anyone has any difficulty with the drive assist, you can go into the controls and you can set it to be on or off by default and have a toggle switch. I really need to put a toggle switch on.
I'm just following along behind you, just going to like nom nom.
Yeah,
lots of phosphorus, carbon, and everything.
Might as well.
It's actually quite nice. I think I'm up to about 60. I guess. No, I'm up to 100. I still don't have enough for the next 2 upload stuff though. Oh well.
Oh, so, well, we're fine. I mean, what it is, I mean, because like you said, you haven't had much chance to play with the materials, but what it is, each planet has different concentration levels, and so they will have specific materials on them. So once you found that, say, a planet has polonium on it, once you find one rock with polonium in, that planet you can guarantee it will always have more polonium on. It's kind of like it's almost like buckets, you know. It's like it kind of, when it's generated, the Stellar Forge picks specific elements that are going to be on that planet, and you can guarantee they always will be there. But they're groups, so like you said, the grades, like the grade 1, 2, 3, and 4, about how rare or how abundant they are. You will find virtually all planets will have the most common elements on, but they tend to only have one of the rarest elements on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've also looked at the composition to see, like, I went to because I went to Arcanar. I looked around and I looked at the composition of all the planets. I went, that one's pretty much all metal. Land there. And sure enough, I found some rare metals that I hadn't found before. Exactly.
And this is the thing which, you know, Frontier have been keen to use. That data has been there since day one. They've done this huge, complicated simulation of the Milky Way galaxy. They've done all of this kind of mass distribution of various elements in there. They've worked it all out based on, as David says many times, first principles. It's based on real science, real data that we have on the Milky Way. And they've done all these calculations, and now they're getting to use this data. So it's why they're so keen on it, which is why you see things like planets which have little yellow splotches on them and things like that tend to have higher concentrations of sulfur in that area, because sulfur tends to have a kind of a yellow tinge to it. So you know, all that data's there, and I think it's lovely that the game is based on those scientific principles, because it allows you to do you know, kind of, if you know that information, you've got, I wouldn't say an advantage, but it adds more depth to the game. Like I said, I went and looked up the information on where meteorites tend to impact, and found that they're on equators. is more likely to be on equators, and lo and behold, I have found more metallic meteorites along the equator line of this planet than I found going across other planets. So it's all there. I think all that data is wonderful that it's being used.
Yeah, it really does also mean that people who skipped out on school, they're gonna be guys like, oh, why didn't I pay attention? I could be doing so much better at gaming. And then they go back to school and they just start studying hard, and the teachers just go, what has gotten into you? Okay.
Wait, it's funny you should say that. I mean, a lot of the kind of interest that I picked up over the, it's from things like, you know, playing Frontier Elite 2 on the Amiga. It was like it was absolutely fascinating that this was there, and I wanted to know how it worked, and you know how it could possibly fit all that on a disc, and that's what encouraged me to end up taking the career that I did as development, because you know it's really interesting. Oh, sorry, I missed a couple of things on there. Saturnine saying, yes, my 8-year-old son has an awesome dad. I don't know about that. I don't know. It's a dad which keeps nagging him to do other things.
He also upgraded his computer.
Yeah, so he's happy about that. He was well pleased. Arathon saying, my son has got more patience than most people on the forums.
Oh yeah. Well,
it's sad but true.
I wonder how much patience I would have then, because kind of your way around it is. I've given up my game time of a year's worth, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a lot of patience. That's a whole lot of patience.
But I have managed to go to some other ways of getting out, along with schoolwork.
Lemon Hoko saying, have I heard anything from the devs mention a commander's log or anything of that sort in the future?
Saturn already answered that. He said it was in their to-do list.
Yeah, it's definitely something that was mentioned early on. I remember it being talked about in the Kickstarter. It was something they were keen to add that in, because you know, it's very, very useful. It's something you'd expect to have. I mean, being able to have things like waypoints and marking systems that you visited, and you know, all these things are useful UI elements that I think would make the game so much more approachable and easier to play. Yeah, I think most of us who are kind of original 84ers and players of the original sequels and stuff, we do things like this. We have physical commander's logs that we we always keep by our side, and we just instinctively did that because that's how you had to play the original games. So yeah, but it would be nice to have some more integration, definitely. Sean Bomb, you had 4 weeks and 5 days in there. Yes, probably. Yes, a lot of station idling. That's where mine is, I think.
Oh, also, we kind of also already have sort of commander logs, because the Galnet news, that's been used sometimes at local stations to show a little bit of inside stuff of what's going on in the system. Yeah,
yeah. So there is some of that kind of interaction. I think definitely it's. I think a lot of the problem I've seen with the things that put on, particularly with like Power Play, because a lot of people were saying. Like the interface for Power Play was a little bit confusing. There's a lot of pressure on the UI team, because they're working hard on projects across the company. So they have very limited time to be spending doing all of the elements, and I know it's something they want to improve in the future. So Power Play is probably going to see a big update in its UI to make it more usable, more user friendly. Hopefully some of that will feed back into some of the other elements. We know with 1.5 and 2.0 updates, it's completely changed like the way like the left hand panels work. We've had things finally like the filters we can set on the navigation panel here. The same for the cargo, you can set filters on here, for example. So yes, it's these things, they're all possible, but it is a case of getting enough time from the team to be able to do that.
The thing is I've heard a lot that from other people that they find that Power Play was a disappointment in lots of ways for them. But I can see why, but yeah. Yeah, it's very hard to get another faction into being a power, and right now I'm seeing a big problem where once they finally get a new faction up, they're going to be starting off with just the base, and they can't expand, because the Outer Rims, those areas are just uninhabitable. They're not useful at all for Power Play. However, though, if Frontier makes it so that they balance it so that the new factions have a sort of like starting bonus of investment there that can then make them so that the quickly upgrade the credit value or something like that, then that would make it so that it would be possible for us to expand the bubble, maybe even.
Yeah, yeah.
Along with doing other things.
Interesting to say that. I mean, that's two of the things that Michael put out in his dev update this week. It's something they really want to focus on this year. There is going to be a work going into power play to make it more approachable. They, like I said, they're working on this. Their run up to. Let me see if I can get the information up on the screen. Actually, just as a point of interest, I can get the first few elements. So this is what Michael's put up in the latest one. So we got the minor factions which are present in 8 or more star systems. This is where players have been pushing to help these groups. You can see at the top of the list is a Sirius Corporation. So these lists of factions here, this is the ones that actual players have been working hard to expand their influence over multiple systems. These are the ones that are up to become the next power in power play, which is probably going to mean one of the 10 current commanders is going to have to, current power leaders is going to have to drop off the list there. We have just stumbled across a base. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that crashed me, I think.
Oh dear, okay.
Yes, I crashed out, it seems. I just sent a bug report, so...
Oh no.
I wasn't that far behind you, but it may make you have to then relog completely.
Okay. Let me turn off.
So, yes, Chad, I think you were right with saying that you'd improve netcode and such.
Yeah, that's I think proof is in the pudding there. Definitely needs some work. But yeah, so the idea with the player factions and things like that. Oh, sorry, that message came up on there. Michael really wants to work on that. That's one thing they want to kind of improve this year. They definitely want to try and get more interaction between the minor factions working into powers and so on and so forth. But then also what you were saying, then this idea of expanding the bubble. He did hint in his dev update, and this was there was 2 words right at the bottom there which really kind of caught my attention. Was he said the potential for more automated colonization.
Oh yes.
So that I'm really keen to see. So I'm hoping, because they did say.
I see you.
Oh cool. I'll hang around here.
Oh, I think I see you.
Yeah,
and there's another target.
No, I can see you there, just on the side. Yeah. So yeah, so they did say in 1.5 2.0. Well, Michael said this in his previous dev update that. The way that ground settlements are populated in the galaxy, the way that they are created and they exist and they spawn is different compared to the space stations, which gives them a bit more flexibility for creating more. So hopefully we will see more community goals and things like that lay out, so we can start to see that bubble of populated space start to expand. And it makes much more sense that if you're going to be expanding, that you would start with a simple ground settlement. Because when you look at these things here, I mean, this isn't a particularly large settlement, but you know it's getting there. When you look at some of the ground bases in some of the more populated areas where you can actually land on them, they're a little bit bigger, but they are nothing compared to the scale of a space station. So creating a space station is a very costly thing to be doing. Whoa, stingers! I'm not going to play around with them. So yeah, so it makes absolute sense that if you're going to be heading out and trying to expand your territory, you would start with a small settlement on a planet somewhere. So I love the idea of that, and the idea that the background simulation can start to feed into that more. So as the powers and the factions start to push on certain areas and take over more regions of space, that maybe nearby systems start to get settlements popular in there. It's brilliant.
What's another brilliant thing is actually we've sort of semi-seen that with Horizons, because many systems on the outer edge and inside the bubble have actually suddenly been populated by these bases, and it's just like,
before they were devoid of life, and no one ever went to them because you know there was no stations there, so why go there? But yeah, exactly. Now suddenly you start to see that the reason why we didn't have more systems with stations in was because of this. Frontier were planning all along to start to have these little settlements in. So I've given Edorin the idea to have put in. Sorry. Garzini. Yeah, I think. I feel kind of the same way. As you love the idea of power play, but you're not getting involved with it until you hit to elite in exploration. I kind of feel the same way. Due to a loss of merits, if you went away and did something, you can't stay involved in focus, and that's kind of the problem with it. It goes back to that point I was saying earlier on. Is you have a lot of people say, "Oh, there's nothing to do in Elite." It's like I find there's too much to do. I want to help with everything. I want to help with every community goal. I want to do all the exploration. I want to help with the hunt for barnacles. I would love to get more involved in the paraplay. There is too many things for me to do. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's like I said right at the start, exactly what Obsidian Ant was saying in his videos. It's just this idea that it doesn't all stick together particularly well at the moment. There needs to be more to gel these things together, and that's what Season 2 is all going to be about, I think.
And another thing is multiplayer, playing with friends.
Absolutely.
That's an easy way to keep going, because you could be good at something and then you just show people how it's done.
Yeah, and I've really enjoyed doing that. I mean, I quite often have people contacting me in the game and just asking for a little bit of advice and stuff like that, and I love it. It's great, that I can kind of help people out even when I'm just wandering around inside the galaxy. I think it's brilliant. So that's why I'm always saying to anyone, it's like, you just add me as a friend in the game, and I just love helping people with it. So it's really awesome, and that for me is a great part of the game, even if that doesn't specifically relate to some cutscene or something that most people would consider content. That for me is a great thing. M. Hughes saying that, so I'd have a colony on Tesh Hub instead of a station. There's a possibility, although it is an Earth-like world, so it's still going to be a while off before we can land anywhere in the Crash system. Yeah,
I think what will happen is that they're gonna first off finish these ones up of these barren planets, which are actually, in my mind, the frameworks of the atmospheric ones.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so I wonder I don't know what they'll do first, but I think what they'll do first is they'll go to then atmospheric planets and get those sorted out, because those atmospheric ones then lead on to volcanism.
Yes, absolutely.
And then we'll have sort of more complex ones like then Earth. So Earth-likes and very highly volcanism ones, those ones will be coming very last, I think, at 1.4 time. Well, I think
I think the planets with volcanism have already been mentioned, so I'm hoping they're going to come this season, because I really like to see some of that. And I spoke to Eddie Simons. He's one of the producers on the game, and he's very much keen on all the weather systems and things that are going to go into atmospherics, because there's a lot of interesting information that's got to go into that. So I think we're going to see some more of those. Gravesville, greetings, Commander. Thank you for joining in the channel tonight. What is this game about? I thought it was about space battle. It's about space. Everything in space. So hence, in space there are planets. So you can land on planets, and you can drive across planets, and at some point in the future we will be walking around on those things, and inside our spaceships, and all that. So it's a very big game.
Inside space stations.
It's a very big game. So everything in space is going to be in the game at some point. Excalibur Forever, what's up with the dumb NPC pilots? They were smarter in 1.5. I've noticed some people say about them having some strange things. I mean, if you do see some weird mechanics, some weird kind of things going on with them spiraling and stuff like that, then by all means put a bug report in, and hopefully we can get those sorted. But I've not seen any particular issues with them. I think the last thing I saw was in one of the betas was the big Anaconda ships. Once you took out their power plants, they kind of sat there like not knowing what to do. But I think that's changed since.
Oh, yes, actually, I think I encountered that once in the beta where I shot an asp, and he just suddenly stopped. dead stop,
Just,
and I
yes,
just went,
yeah,
oh,
they're just
okay.
kind of like...
And I just shot his drives out, and then he spun around. Even when I went in front of him, he didn't shoot me. He just like went, right, I'm gonna sit in the escape pod, bye.
That's it.
Done with this fight.
That's it,
I know
yeah.
I'm that good.
That's it. I'm done. I'm done. But I wonder how much of that is because I think that's been changed since you know, there's been some different routines added in for what to do in those situations, and that's very much the thing, is that they have to kind of create these well, they call them complex state machines, and they're exactly what they sound like. It's like it will detect a given state and it will have some reaction to that state, and there's a very complex set of patterns that happen to it. So obviously they didn't have something which identified the state of having a power plant down to zero. What do you do? Well, a player would start to frantically adjust their power management and find some way probably to get the FSD up and functional and jump the heck out of there. But obviously the AI didn't have a planned routine for that, and I think that's been changed since. But it, you know, as new mechanics are added into the game, then the AI needs to be kind of effectively taught. They need to be given these ways of dealing with these states and these situations. So
Tuplex says that he's been shooting pythons all day in their sights, and they just you spin me right round, baby, right round.
That is weird. Yeah, I've not seen that for a while, although I have been kind of away from most combat zones for a while. I've been focusing on other pursuits in the game.
I do know that there is an overhaul that was sort of planned to be done on the AI system to make the second stage AIs, I think.
Oh.
The ones which are actually persistent a lot more than the
tier 2 AIs. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that, because last time I mentioned that out of speculation, and I will say it was entirely out of speculation, that I was keen on the idea of what's going to happen with the tier 2 AIs. Everyone thought that I was confirmation that tier 2 AIs were making it to the next patch. So yeah. I won't say too much.
The thing is that person was then moved on to the AI, I think, of the ground,
the skimmers and things
stuff.
like that. Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I can't remember what her name is. I know it is a her. So Saturn, don't you dare.
Sarah Jane Avery. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so the mistress of minions, as she's become lovingly known on the forums. But yeah, what she tends to do, she tends to write the AI routines that deal with things like maneuvering the ship and dealing with the states that I explained. Like, you know, if the ship is under attack, put power into systems and those kind of things. Those kind of minute by minute or moment by moment logical decisions. And there's a lot of elements to it, because I know a lot of people are saying, I've seen things in the forums like, oh, why did she remove this particular thing or that particular thing? She doesn't control the loadouts of the ships and the decisions they make for that element, or how they generate, where they generate the scenarios. That's done by a different team. So there's a lot of questions I missed, so let's skim back up quickly. Grey Spawn saying that it's called a kebab roll when they get stuck in. Yeah, okay, I shall try and remember that. David Gilson saying if you blow out the power plant, they don't have power to do anything else. Yeah, that is kind of the situation they get stuck in. But I know humans have ways of dealing with that, so I think maybe there's something the AI can add in to do that. Commander Edelweiss! No, I don't have the ship's cat yet, but if anyone has seen that, Fiery Toad, I don't think he's in the chat anymore, he would have the link to the HCS voice packs, guys. If anyone does have it, by all means, they can post it up on that. They do these great kind of AI and, what would you call it, kind of... There's like helper AIs that help you in your ship, but then also these like companion AIs and things like that, which respond to voice commands and stuff like that. Really, really awesome. Excalibur Fever loves it when the AIs hit asteroids.
Oh yeah, I've done it as well. Actually, my only deaths in game have been from pilot failure of manoeuvring around. It's not actually been from play or NPC that I've died. Oops. I've only had 6 deaths though, and I haven't had any since I've picked up the UA, so yeah. Hopefully that's been rectified, that problem, but I won't know until I get back into combat stuff and what I was doing beforehand, which was put on pause because, well, UA.
Other pursuits, yeah, absolutely.
And barnacles.
Yeah. Arathon saying it because I said that as Half-Life 3 confirmed! This is what happens, yeah. Where do we mission? Was this on escape pods? Yeah, I can confirm that escape pods were on the list. There was a whole system planned for that, but effectively we just get the black screen of insurance when that happens at the moment. There is a whole set of systems designed for when we can go into that kind of individual level, and kind of, because there is the alert in there saying eject, eject, eject. That wasn't recorded just because it was a cool way of ending. That was supposed to be part of a deeper mechanic, but it was effectively delayed and postponed until more elements go in. I think it'll make much more sense to be able to do the whole kind of eject into an escape pod thing once you're an individual walking around kind of that FPS style view. I think that'll make a lot more sense.
Oh no!
This is a bad terrain.
No. Yep. I just went down the wrong side, you went down the right side. Oh, that was not good to see. It's like a mini. It reminds me of the Christmas string. Because that racers is just deadly. That one was. He would have made it. I believe he would have made it if he didn't go for that risky part.
Oh dear.
Also, my fuel is at 25%, so.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and park it for a second here. I'm gonna get one more thing up on the newsletter. So to give a shout out to this, the Distant Worlds expedition is heading off. So over 500 people are heading off on the 14th of January to do an expedition to the other side of the galaxy. Yes, how insane is that? And I think it's being headed up mainly by Commander Aramis, and also a good friend of mine, Dr. Kai, is getting involved with this, and they're heading out to this the system which was named Seeker ZQ Al blah blah blah, 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 some random thing, which has now been lovingly renamed to Beagle Point, which I'm gonna see if we can get that in the galaxy map actually, just to give people an idea of how far away this is. Beagle Point. No, it's not in there as Beagle Point. Okay, let's try and get it by its official name.
That does remind me of the expedition that I abandoned of going to because of the UA. So many things because of the UA I've missed out on.
Yeah, can't get involved. Which, oh, let me go and put it onto realistic mode on. You can see, there we go. It's a little distance away, just over 65,000 light years, and this is. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I've just noticed on my map, someone in my friends list is 64,740 light years away. Who is this? Who is this? Ooh. It's Commander Rusticulus! Oh, yes, one of the fuel rats. And he is literally on the other side of the galaxy. Did I mention this game is big? So yeah, the folks getting involved with that are heading out. It's kind of almost a year since the first person managed to achieve that, and they are going out now. And of course, it's been renamed from distant worlds to from distant suns to distant worlds, because we now have the ability to land on those planets on the way out. So there's going to be some interesting surveys and things going on as we head out in that direction. And like I said, Dr. Kai, here we got, he's well known for his videos up on there. He does some really good videos, so if you don't already follow him on YouTube, then please do give him a follow, subscribe to his YouTube channel, because he does some really good videos of things in the game, and you will learn a lot from them, so it's well worth checking those out.
And that does remind me of the expedition that I missed, which is actually a circumnavigation of the galaxy. So it's even longer than that, but it doesn't go to the outer edges of where there's problems. But when they left, it was a big amount of asps, but there was also anacondas and imperial clipper, I think. And it was nice to see them off and everything, but it was just kind of like, because no, I can't come along. I did come along to the ceremony of them leaving though, because why not?
Yes,
I could
see them on their way. See them on their way. Any more things in there? DJ Tarjan. It would be a cool addition for a new power play player. Sorry, it would be a cool addition to power play for a new power to be called the Thargoids. We're not going to go there.
I think that's a bit too far in the future.
So yes, I mean, I'm going to circumnavigate in the galactic disk. I mean, we're looking at, was it 65,000 light years, roughly diameter, so maybe 30,000 radius. And going back to the first thing I said at the start of the stream, 2 pi r circumference. So you're talking over 6 times 30,000 light years. That is a heck of a distance to travel. That is one heck of a distance.
No Fargoid power convert. No.
Speculation alert! Speculation.
You haven't got it. You can't do that.
Yeah, I really need to get that speculation banner back up because everyone is going to think there's things going on. Caliber
always a leaker.
Excalibur Forever. No, it's not. I don't think it's a race. I think it's a joint collaboration where people are meeting up at specific regions to map out the area of the galaxy. It is just an exploration. It's a joint collaboration to explore large areas of the galaxy. It's not really a race in that sense.
I think on the newsletter they did say that they were going to be revisiting all the systems and going to those planets and visiting the planets themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say if you're keen on that kind of idea of having a race across multiple systems, definitely have a look on the forum for the buckyball races. That's something which has been done many times before, and it is that kind of thing. It's the fastest to get to various places of the galaxy. They did one. I forget which one it was now. There's been about 6 or 7 of them at least now. One of the buckyball races was to get to the centre of the galaxy, which obviously took a little while, but I think someone managed to do it in, was it 19 hours of non-stop play, I think was the record for that,
yeah.
Which was pretty good going.
Yeah, I heard someone went a very long time for it, and they must have been really tired. Also,
oh yes,
I presume you're going to LaveCon.
Oh yes, cannot wait for LaveCon. LaveCon, hands up, who's going to LaveCon this year? I'm going. I've got to go to LaveCon. I've still got to get my tickets in, but I'm going to LaveCon. I know. I know. There are tickets. I know. There are tickets still available. So it's not an issue. So definitely check that out if you haven't done it. If you're in the UK and you can get to Northampton, is it Northampton? Pretty sure it's Northampton. Same place as last year anyway. But check out the website, laveradio.com, and there'll be a listing on there to get all the information about it. It's just a great way to meet up with other elite fanatics like the rest of us. I'm gonna have to turn drive assist off again. This is
yeah. Also, there's something actually up ahead, Vi. I think it's 2 sources mixed together.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. We're getting.
Yeah.
Just focusing up. Yeah, Arathon, we are finding a way. We are finding a way of getting it, so don't worry about it. I think the issue is this year is the LaveCon weekend was moved to a different day, and it lands right on a family birthday. So we're going to have to try and work around that somehow. Oh yes, 2 outcrops we found.
Yay, 2 outcrops. By the way, someone says you have a babysitter. Or you lost babysitter.
Yeah, it's we will find a way. Don't worry, we will find a way. Arsenic. I could do with some arsenic. What else we got there? Vanadium. Have you collected arsenic? Have you got some of that?
I don't think I have.
Oh well, there's 2 there. I'll leave one on there. Vanadium.
If I can pick it up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. There we go. Oh, thank you there, Ben. I didn't realise that. Simon Winnard will... Oh, sorry, notifies Simon that Kerrash will be at LaveCon for more Dockers Live. Oh, my goodness. So anyone who isn't aware of Dockers is this fantastic community-created parody kind of... What would you call it? Like a radio...
It's a version of Archers, I would
say. Something like that. It is really hilarious. It's not safe for work. It's not fit for anyone mature or otherwise, but it is absolutely hilarious. And last year they wrote me in as a bit of a cameo, which was fantastic. So well worth checking out that if you can. Just do a quick search for Elite Dockers.
I actually unknowingly found out about you through watching the Dockers episode where you were just coming in and doing the streaming stuff. I didn't know about you about then. I just was going to say, oh, they just made up this character, and then I found you and went, hang on a second.
Oh yeah, it was great fun. I really loved doing that. It was I hinted to Commander Psycho Care a few times, saying it's like I would love to kind of just pop in and just do something really silly. I don't mind what it is. That was my first mistake, saying I don't mind what it is. But since then, I've even managed to gather a little bit of a cult following from it, which literally and figuratively, which is just crazy. But it's been great fun. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Carnaby 666. Yeah, absolutely. It's really good fun, and it just goes to show. I mean, the creativity going on in the community. People are just really want to make really cool things. Yeah,
and if there was no community, then well, the game. Some people would be right in saying that the game is just but it is also a framework.
Yeah,
David Braben said that so many times in his dev diaries that this is just a framework.
And I think
we're essentially alpha testers or beta testers.
Yeah, I mean it's like a perpetual beta, which is where a lot of software is these days. That's how things are. I mean, Google does it with everything. You know, a lot of companies do that kind of thing, and it's yeah, exactly. It's the way things go. But yeah, just that kind of going back to that line, that kind of whoa, that's a tumble. Blaze your own trail. I mean, a lot of people kind of read that and think it's burning up people as you move across the galaxy. You know, it's not to be taken that literally. It is, you know, you make of it what you want to make of it. If part of that is making up a crazy backstory for your commander, then go for it. You know, that's what it's about. That's why we have the role-playing area of the forums for people to create these stories, and that's why you know, Frontier are trying to work with the player groups to make these minor factions in there, which, you know, it takes a lot of effort for Frontier to put that in. I've been you know, chatting to the guy who has to do most of the legwork of getting those player factions into the game, and you know, they really want to support everyone who wants to play the game they want to play it, and kind of add these in. It takes a lot of manpower and effort to make those changes in the game.
Yeah. I wonder if you noticed the time.
I'm quite happily scanning for materials. I completely lost track, but I'm gonna park it up for a second. See, I think we covered most of the things in the newsletter. I think we did mention the Imperial Inquisition, some the events coming up there with the Educating Ed, the Hunger Games, which I took part in for the 24-hour live stream, which was absolutely crazy, but great fun. And yeah, we've gone over the thing. Oh, this wonderful shot here from Commander Paula Becker, which was, it is created from several screenshots, but I just love the way he's got the arc of the galactic disk going over there, which was from the distortion of a nearby black hole, and then layered in the different planets there, which is really cool. That's awesome. I think we've gone over Commander T Faddy that finally got his shipment of socks. Spoiler alert, sorry, that's what he got in the package there, was the socks. The beanie hats, yes, beanie hats, if you want one of these beanie hats. I've got the link below, you can click on the links below and grab the merch. And it helps the stream out, so thank you. And more events coming up. Yes, the next event, that's a couple of days from now, Tuesday, January the 12th. Danger Zone CQC events. I've been jumping back into CQC a couple of times this week, actually, and it is great fun. So if you haven't tried it, then give it a go. It is really awesome addition to the game. Oh, Commander Human! Greetings! I'm just wrapping up. We're just going through the last couple of bits in the newsletter. Just wrapping up. Sorry if I missed you. Actually, Dan, if you are starting off your stream, by all means, we can gate crash your stream. See what I did there? Let's see. DVAFP. Has anyone tried bringing all the artifacts together? I think that was one of the early things it done, wasn't it, Ratking?
Yeah, that was the test which I like to think that I have my original UA, but it's impossible to tell because there was a glitch back when we did it when it forgets who the owner is and then becomes automatically stolen to everyone, and so the UA that was used from me and several others, it lost the ownership, so
Oh no.
they all became stolen tagged, and so mine is stolen tagged now. I like to think that is my original one, but can't tell.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. What's that?
It was something that I knew that was going to happen in the test.
yeah. That's the problem with that, isn't it? It's tricky, but well, I'm just catching up on the chat. Actually, where's Commander Human? Is he setting up a stream? Is he aiming to do a stream? Because I'm not sure who else is on at the moment. Let's see if we can find out. Not sure who else is streaming right now, but we can send everyone over to there. If there is someone else streaming, let's have a quick look. Commander Human, are you live? Are you planning on going live?
I'll just check my chat. Yep, absolutely.
Oh, he's taken the
visited.
night off. He's taken the night off. No problem. Okay.
No one has said anything in my chat. Empty as ever.
So I think we should probably wrap things up actually, because we have run over what I'd normally do.
Sorry.
No problem. No, I was having great fun just searching for elements, for materials out there. Actually, it's really great fun just to do things like that. So there's lots to do in this game. So I think what we will do is we will head over to. I'm gonna pick someone on there. Twitch TV. Commander Horny. We will head over to them, and we will gate crash their stream in a moment. But I just want to say thank you very much for everyone who's tuned in tonight. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. Hopefully, we taught something this morning. Get a good speculation of what's coming for season 2. It's some really cool stuff coming up. So definitely stay tuned. Thank you very much, Ratking. Thank you for joining on the stream. It's great to have you.
No problem. It's nice to get out and about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do something different other than sitting on that toxic egg you have in your cargo hold. But yes, let's head on over to Shawnee now. We've gate crashed the stream. But from me and Ratking, until next time, see you in the void, Commanders.
Bye.